tournament has been amazing. I have really enjoyed seeing some of those tried and tested combinations for Alligator and Clodsar
Yo
coming
guys!
in, but also looking at some of the changes already from Baltimore to Dortmund.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Absolutely. We haven't seen as much Gastrodon yet, unfortunately.
Not yet.
I do think it could be like a really good pick coming up. There are a lot of superior, but considering how many poison type Pokemon there are, Gastrodon just happens to be so good into those. And I think that's why Gastrodon could be really good indeed. I haven't seen Pokemon like Alolan Stench and Chestnut from Wadash's team from Baltimore. I haven't seen as much what's the big Drapion just yet, to my surprise, because I believe Drapion is one of the more common Pokemon that is here in Dortmund. And the other Pokemon, Galarian Moltres, we've not seen at all, right? that Ilum had. Not yet. Maybe.
Yeah, we need Galarian Moltres.
The dark type fast attack now is as good as Counter was in the previous meta, so it has a lot of usage.
That's the thing, Counter was like the go-to fast move, right? And you had Shadow Claw as well that was decent, but now that we don't have Counter around so much, having something like that Sucker Punch is really, really nice, but not so many Pokemon have access to it.
Yeah, I agree. So, Lou, I want to ask you about the Dragon type meta. We saw Guzzlord earlier. We've seen Artibex. What do you think of Artibex?
I mean, I really love Artibex. I think
we saw a lot of
Dragon type and
Artibex.
not being weak to ice does give you a little bit of flexibility in the current meta. But for me, it's all about the decisions about how you build that team. Because you've got Dragon Breath, a really powerful fast attack, can really farm down so much damage. We've seen that happen before with Shadow Dragonair and Shadow Dragonite, for example. And Artibex is able to do the exact same thing. But the decision for me is then, what is your ice type charge attack? Are you going to go for the Icy Wind, or are you going to go for Avalanche? With Icy Wind being able to, debuff opponents, that's always really nice, but Avalanche can do damage. And we actually saw it kind of come into effect in our very first match. Jonkers was running that Avalanche variant, and the opponent was running Icy Wind that just wasn't able to get the KO in the end, allowing Jonkers to be victorious.
Exactly. Avalanche just hitting a little bit harder, and because I believe it was XXL Cactus who had the Artibex with Icy Wind, and just barely did knock out the Azumarill, so kind of an offset there, right? But yeah, we talked about the Dragon-type Pokemon, we talked about Malamar. How about we take a look at the meta that we have here in Dortmund? I'm super excited to show you guys what we have here. We have 77% Clodsire, we have a number 2 Dunsparce. I think there's a lot of similarities.
Azu 52.
I don't see Gastrodon, unfortunately, but look at this, Lou. We see Shadow Drapion, 20% usage. We see Toxapex and Diggersby, such a strong core that was displayed during Baltimore as well. They have made it to the top 12 usage. What are your thoughts on the Pokemon that we see here?
Honestly, for me, it's the rise of 2 things. One, bulk and brawn, making sure you've got those big, tanky Pokemon, the Clodsar, the Dunsparce, the Azumarill as well. They can take so many heavy hits, as well as Mandibuzz and Cresselia there. I know you get 2 shields, but with some of these Pokemon, it's almost like you have 3 to utilize in your battles, as well as the rise of these poison types. The Drapion coming through, being able to hit really, really hard with the Poison Sting that got a buff recently as well. Again, can just farm down so many situations. But then, Toxapex. We actually saw it in Baltimore as well, do pretty decently. The only issue is both those Poison-type Pokemon do not want to come down against a Gastrodon. And even if it's not Gastrodon you're against, Clodsire,
no dragons
in the meta right now, is still going to be able to have that ground coverage to threaten it.
Look, if we talk about Gastrodon, look at all the matchups it's actually quite good into. Clodsire, it defeats Clodsire. It's pretty good into Dunsparce. It actually, with the Mudslap buff, wins most even shield scenarios against Azumarill. For Alligator, I believe it only loses the 2 shield scenario into Shadow. Regular though, you win. Superior, okay, we can skip Superior. And the buzz, maybe a hard pass as well. Personally, another hard pass maybe, but. Shadow Drapion, a Pokemon used by many top players, not good into Gastrodon. And then Talonflame is interesting because I just talked to Zephy Mastix and I didn't know this, but he told me that even without Water Pulse as coverage charged attack, you can still win the 1 shield into Talonflame if it doesn't land that Brave Bird. So Gastrodon, not too bad into Talonflame as a flying type Pokemon. Then the other 3 Pokemon, Dugong, kind of neutral. Diggersby, if you have Water Pulse, you can deal super effective damage.
Toxapex to EZA
coverage. And Toxapex, Gastrodon just walks over Toxapex. It does not get trapped in there, I'll tell you that.
Oh, it certainly doesn't. But I think as well, looking at the rise of the poison types, they're really there to counter that Azumarill that is rising really high in the usage stats as well. Azumarill being such a threat, and a Pokemon we've seen in previous metas as well. Being able to have, like I've said, lots of bulk, but applying a lot of pressure with fairy typing as well. When you do have some potential dark types out in the field, or even the fighting types, we've seen Pangoro a couple of times.
We just
want to make sure
battle
that you have that coverage there.
Exactly, we don't want to see Tomahawk succeed with the Pangoro.
Alfonso.
Not today.
But speaking of Pangoro, we have on the left Zacian with one. So good call by you there, Lou. And on the right we have Alfonso. I believe it's first time on stream. He came in with a couple of Spanish players. I believe 4 of them are here as well. And then we have a Shadow Drapion as
Pangoro.
well. Some hard meta picks, right? We have that core of Feraligatr and Clodsire on both sides.
Pangoro.
Yeah, I think those two just really break the rock, paper, scissor in the meta, right? Where you can, as rock, paper, scissor kind of is, how do I explain this? Like, you have a hard matchup on a hard win, right? Like, Feraligatr into Talonflame. And if you...
The alignment's going to be really critical.
Alignment, exactly. So, that's...
अपने इधर भी कल है ना बैटल या अपने इधर भी है कल.
Can even overcome matchups. It should not really win. Such as, it can defeat Feraligatr in the one shield.
Dude, he will bring the Pangoro every game.
In the face.
भाई सामने Pokemon देखो भाई.
Scary alligator or crocodile.
Diggersby, Feraligatr,
Well, there are Shadow
Drapion.
Alligators a piece here as well, and actually taking a look at both teams.
Only
I
problem is
like
Azu.
the
Cress is
type
also
at the
kind of
moment.
fine.
We are seeing such a rise here in a lot of the poison typing.
Yeah,
You've
he
got
will bring the
Drapion, but we've also got the Toxapex there. Nezabethan's
Pangoro
team is
every
actually
game,
very
I think
interesting.
so.
There is no Gastrodon, but there is water and ground typing galore there as well. Feraligatr, Clodsire, the Toxapex, the Diggersby all have that typing in there.
Yeah, everybody's using Artibex now.
To Pokemon like, for
Bro,
example,
Pencham
the
कब
Drapion
छे?
on
Bro, do you
the
have the
side and
Pencham?
the Diggersby.
Zacian is a big fan of water-type Pokemon. He got to, I believe he was the runner-up at the 2023 EUIC with a double water and double flying
Oh,
team.
wow. Okay.
So he is very familiar with the water types. I believe there he had Swampert and
मुझे तो
another
कभी भी
water
चलेगा
type
like
Pokemon.
देखते हैं
But
meet
here
up
we
next
go.
कभी.
We go into game number 1. We have Pangoro.
देखा मैं बोला ना Pangoro every game होगा.
From Alfonso.
Alfonso Azumarill looking pretty happy on the field right now, can already start farming down, and immediately we see the switch.
I think so.
No
Gator
surprise.
can flip
it's gonna
now.
be a switch apiece though for Alligator versus Drapion.
With one
Lou,
Shadow Claw advantage, I think so.
Yes, you can take the Hydro Cannon, and the Shadow Claw is resisted from the Feraligatr on the Drapion, but it's gonna do so much damage.
Ouch!
Look how low you
Dude,
get.
now he can shield farm down.
Once we can flip the switch advantage here, going for that crunch here. This won't knock out
Wait,
the Feraligatr.
क्या Cresselia future side था कि नहीं? वो देखा नहीं.
Yes, just preserving it on the field for now. The crunch going to be able to be blocked by the shield, and the Feraligatr
भाई
is
उसने
able
Hydro
to
Cannon
keep
shield
going
नहीं किया
through.
भाई
The
बंदे
Shadow
ने.
Claws is able to get the KO.
It doesn't even get to another attack, and now the switch advantage is flipped here. Going for another
Yes,
Hydro
for
Cannon
Great League and
into
Ultra League I
Azumarill.
can give one
If
each.
you
Yeah,
think
thanks
that
bro.
Azumarill is good here, it's not really, because Azumarill, it has been in the
भाई
meta
अभी
for
Gator
so
देखो अभी जो
long.
Hydro
It is
Cannon
so
spam
slow
करता है
to
भाई.
those charge attacks, as you can see here. The neutral Shadow Claws add up, and Hydro Cannon is
I
such
think
an
this
efficient
Pangoro is
attack
still
that
useless,
a
kind
very
of.
good
He can
Shadow
catch
Feraligatr
though.
with high defense and high HP, low attack can actually win this in all even scenarios despite dealing resisted charge.
Is he going to shield this?
Yes, the Hydro Cannon is not doing
Okay,
too much, but
he's
like you said,
letting
the
it
fact
go.
that you can steamroll through them multiple times will enable the damage to go through. Play Rough will come back and get the knockout, however, so Azumarill's not quite out of it yet, but now it is going to be the Clodsire versus Cresselia. Oh no, Pangoro's back in. This is also a bit dicey for the Panda.
This is very dicey. So what I've learned from our co-caster Farid is that Pangoro can win the 2-shield scenario here. But there's no 2 shields on Zacian's side because Alfonso
Bolo.
pulled the shield already. He has 2 shields himself. This Moonblast is double super effective.
Oh, he's letting it go.
He makes the no-shield call. Here we go. Moonblast being
will
charged.
one shot.
Boom! And takes out the Pangoro in 1 charge attack.
Oh my goodness, Pangoro is out of here. The Clodsire coming in. It is definitely the superstar of the meta right now, but it has a tall order ahead of it here.
यो भी मुझे कौन जीत रहा है यहाँ पे? मेरा
Grass Knot's
17-3
gonna
हुआ
come
है
through.
from
It's gonna do
tomorrow
a
battles.
decent
भाई बहुत
chunk.
बढ़िया
The
भाई.
Clods are so bulky, gonna be able to hang on.
Clodsire indeed very bulky. Zacian waiting a turn there, making sure that Alfonso doesn't catch this Earthquake on that Azumarill. And
Okay,
he's
no
not
shield.
just yet here. The Earthquake chunks, but it doesn't knock out just yet. This is where the poison sting buff is really handy
Yeah, I
because
think
they
so. Now
add up
he's
on
just
the
farmed
Cresselia
down the
now.
Cresselia
This Grass Knot,
and
this
throw
does
the
not
2
add up. You
sludge.
want to keep the shield for that Ice Beam, I think, as Zacian.
Yes, and of course the Azumarill in the back for Alfonso as
I think
well.
the
is
Claude
gonna
will win
appreciate
here.
taking any of these
Azu
poison
is
type
dry.
attacks, and it's here on
It's
the
over.
field as the Clodsire is able to go for the sludge bomb. Thankfully,
Alfonso will win. I don't think so. It's over.
Interesting. I thought that Alfonso was going to wait out until Zacian has thrown his damage.
भाई वो
but
पहले
it
पहुंच
looks
जाएगा
like
sludge
it's
before
charge
the
attacks, but it looks
ice
like
beam.
He was afraid of getting farmed down by that Clodsire and Cresselia. Now going for another
And
sludge bomb. Can Alfonso get to that next charge attack? It's going to get very tight here.
I mean, the shield comes through, stops the sludge bomb being able to get the KO, but those poison stings able to rack up so much damage. Azumarill, though, able to go on the offensive and forcing Zacian to burn that final shield.
It's gonna come down to charge attack, or sorry, fast attack damage here. The super effective bubbles versus super effective poison sting. Let's see if Clodsire can do this. Needs to throw a sludge bomb at some point. I think. There we go. Can Nesabitha now hang on to the super effective cycle cut from the Cresselia and get to another sludge bomb? Sludge bomb gonna knock out this Azumarill. It's gonna come down to that Cresselia of Alfonso. How much energy does he have? No energy. Can Clodsire get to a charge tank? One more poison sting and
let's go, dude.
This is why Clodsire is number 1.
High rank 1, rank 1.
Dependable, it can hang on to close out a match.
Wow, Nesabithan is such an interesting game, right? It was looking terrible for him.
Wow, kya game tha bhai. 1 HP and a dream chat.
1 HP, that is crazy. Wow, I'm out of breath. I'm speechless. Like
only 1 HP, yep.
By a play like this from our UIC runner-up, but man, how did he do that?
The comeback from seeing that Pangoro
Bhai,
go
maza
down
aa gaya,
almost
bhai.
felt like Nesabithan only brought 2 Pokemon to this match because Pangoro just had no footing in it whatsoever, particularly with the power of that opposing Azumarill. But the way that the Clodsire was just able to not only get the fast attack damage down, but apply so much pressure with the Sludge Bomb. Fantastic play. We've already had one game that I'm sure.
See, he will bring Cresselia every game.
Exciting.
I think so.
Like that you said
Alfonso or Alfonso. भाई वो Cresselia लेके आएंगे every game.
It can just hang on to many charge attacks and many fast
तो
attacks.
confirm है.
Both Azumarill and Cresselia outputting super effective fast attack damage, and it just wasn't enough to knock out the Clodsire.
It's good against everything.
We see a lot of sludge from Clodsire. It was so important here because Stone Edge.
Only problem will be the gator because of the fast move pressure
just slightly slower.
and kind of artifacts.
But
yeah, Cresselia.
Just at 1 HP. If he had Stone Edge, he would have lost that game.
I think this is where we're seeing the shift in the meta already from Baltimore, because there was a lot of Stone Edge Clodsire there. I think anticipating maybe more Mandibuzz to be present and just trying to win that particular
And he will bring Pangoro.
Underwhelming performance Mandibuzz gave in Baltimore. I think a lot of people are
Let's see the second game.
Isn't the utility we need? We need that Sludge Bomb to be able to apply pressure just like this to Pokemon like Azumarill.
On top of that, if there's a lot of Azumarill, it's just kind of difficult to utilize the Mandibuzz.
Gator बहुत annoying है Great League में.
I believe top 6.
Yeah, it's annoying, but Gator glassy भी है.
Just yet. The other dark types I see here.
It's not that bulky as the Lickitung.
That Pangoro. It's a cool pick, but it had no play there, right?
Luckily, we are not seeing Lickitung, bhai.
Well, into the Drapion, into the
like Lickitung is dead.
Alligator. But the other 3 are very dicey.
Which is really good.
The Cresselia, you can win in the 2-shield scenario, except if it's a Cresselia with a very high defense, a very high HP, and a low attack. The Azumarill, yeah, you get entirely walled by that. You don't want your Pangoro on that Pokemon. And then the Clodsire, I guess
Shield लेकर ही जाता है. Yeah, that's true.
2-shield scenario, just spamming Night Slash, but generally Clodsire doesn't really care about those charge attacks.
That's very true, and I think as well when you see like
the Nut 93 is a judge.
It's really about
see, I told you he will bring the Cresselia every game. I think so. Gator wins in once, if I'm not wrong.
This is a very interesting matchup because Grassnot, even though it's
he waited a turn, nice one.
From the Cresselia, it hits pretty hard on the fragile Feraligatr, so it's gonna output a lot of damage. I believe that Cresselia should win the 1-shield scenario here if the Feraligatr.
He also waited a turn.
Crunch. Here we go, Grassnot. I think that's a beat might shield. No,
okay.
he doesn't shield this.
Wait, he's not shielding it.
Into the red.
Oh my goodness, so much damage, particularly being a Shadow Variant. The defenses are a little bit weaker.
I think so he will catch now.
Getting the attack buzz from being a Shadow Variant.
Wait, is he going to shield this?
Here's another Hydro Cannon coming through.
Dude, his Pangoro is going to sweep. Please shield. Okay, good shield.
And now he has energy for whatever comes in next. We see in the back the Clodsire and the Pangoro. This is perfect.
Yo guys, you know,
because you can take all the charge stack
he will save the 2 shield for the Pangoro. Please come with Claude. Please come with Claude. Okay, good one.
Clodsire can come in as well, just farm up some energy as well, and just burn through whatever this Cresselia is going to throw its way. We saw the Grassnot do minimal damage last time.
Exactly. Look at this. Doesn't do that much damage.
Oh dude, why he swap? Oh no, he should have not swapped.
In comes the Shadow Drapion. I think. Oh, do we have any Pangoro fans in chat right now? Because this is your time to rise
straight.
Up. Close combat is being charged up. Alfonso has only 1 shield.
Wait, he's not shielding it.
Close combat lands and
boom!
Pangoro is here for revenge. No messing around. Close combat, not able to get the KO, but it has put up a formidable feat.
Please shield this. Okay.
Be able to retaliate, but no, the shield comes through. Aquatail doing no damage.
Makes sense, right? If your best answer to the Pangoro is the Drapion, there's no Azumarill in the back. That has to be something good for the Pangoro in the back here. Go for the charge tech priority, but Cresselia loses.
Pangoro sweep? I don't think so.
Do you shield this as Alfonso? He does put up the protection.
He need boost here.
I think you have to. That Moonblast is charged and ready to go, so you want to be able to apply that pressure straight away, or at least force Nesabitha.
Now he knows he has a Diggersby in the back, so he will shield this for sure.
Yeah, Yeah, now there's no shields, Lou, and there's a Diggersby
Okay,
in
one,
the back.
2,
Pangoro
3,
is fast too.
4,
That close
5.
combat. How much damage is this going to do?
Let's
Close
go,
combat
dude.
from the Pangoro.
Pangoro!
Diggersby. Is this going to knock out? Close combat.
Boom! Oh भाई साहब
And his scoring sets.
क्या damage दिया भाई Pangoro भाई.
It really was a rabbit in the headlights there, taking that close combat. So much damage. Yes, it's able to retaliate with a super effective
Yeah, it's over.
the bulk and the brawn is able to hang on. Just going for these poison stings.
Cresselia can't
farm
farm down the
Gonna throw another cheeky sludge bomb here. But what
toxic.
must be played by
Sorry,
Nezavithan with
Cloud
that
Sire.
Pangoro
It's over.
definitely got
GG's.
its redemption, I'd say.
What a great call to predict that there will be no Azumarill in the back. Clodsire still has to take out this Cresselia right here. Getting to that sludge bomb. Alfonso not being able to get to the grass node. Nezavithan, Clodsire, and his Pangoro are going to advance.
He's so weak to Pangoro, dude. His team is so weak to Pangoro.
What an
Kind
amazing
of.
victory. Congratulations, Nezavithan. Amazing to see this come through on the stage. Clodsire fantastic, but Pangoro maybe can't count it out quite yet.
GG's dude. बहुत मजा आया भाई game देख
He
के.
will love this way too much.
Insane damage भाई,
I'm not gonna lie
insane.
with you, Lou. I've never seen a close combat land on a full Diggersby. That was a showcase, and it still didn't even knock out, right? Pangoro with such high attack, but Diggersby with such high
मजा आ गया.
defense, still hanging on there. That was insane to see, but man, that damage. Oh, I think Alfonso really wished he brought the Azumarill now.
I think this is though kind of testament to what we were saying earlier about how the meta is so bulky at the moment. Diggersby
Wait,
again
क्या हुआ?
can have really
Dispute
nice
हुआ क्या?
coverage on its offensive side, but defensively as well.
नहीं, I think
it has
so.
a
Wait,
lot in the
कुछ
tank,
तो हुआ.
and even such a powerful, super effective move wasn't enough to be able to get the full knockout, but it definitely put it in a dangerous spot.
It's a great core breaker too for Alligator, which sounds crazy. You take super effective damage from Hydro Cannon, but the Shadow Claw are double resistant. And it also defeats the Clodsire, right? Makes Diggersby an incredible pick. And I think Nezavithan just kind of saw it coming with that Pangoro, and Pangoro just, wow, it has a new fast tech now, or not new fast tech, but it has been buffed, right? It has
Yo,
karate
Vimuji,
chop
are you
which
going for
generates
tournament tomorrow?
energy really quickly. It only takes 5 karate chops to get to a close combat.
And I think this is where we've seen as well other Pokemon like the Machamp being used as well, just to be able to use that karate chop also. But for me, really seeing Pangoro shine was a treat. The Moonblast coming through, you can see how damaging that is into both its dark and fighting type. It really was a little bit dicey, but Clodsire had its back, was able to come through and apply so much pressure with these sludge bombs that charged up very fast.
Sludge bomb being key there for Nezavithan, and the Clodsire hanging on to in 1 HP to win that first game, right? That was a crazy set, and here we see the Pangoro just popping off into the Drapion, taking a shield advantage in the lead, allowed the Pangoro in the back to shine because there was no Azumarill and Alfonso's side. He landed the close combat on the Drapion and then on the Diggersby, putting both Pokemon straight into the red. And at that point,
No bro, Sunday not possible for me.
Generally a bad match into the Diggersby was able to clean up here.
I like the battle of the dark types there as well with the Drapion and the Pangoro. And I think as well, obviously a move like Close Combat does give you that debuff as well, and it can leave you in a very vulnerable spot. But the fact that Karate Chop was able to charge up so quickly, and then you had a Diggersby without any shields on the field as well, just meant that, yes, you had the debuff, but it didn't matter at the end of the day. I don't think that Pangoro was in a vulnerable spot at all, in complete command.
Now, you point out that Pokemon in this meta are very bulky. What I also want to point out is that the Pokemon in this meta generally don't have a lot of fast attack pressure. The only Pokemon that really comes to mind real quick is
मजा आया
there's
Pangoro को
no
देख के.
Razor Leaf users,
Let's see the next
Charm
game.
users, right? So in that case, even though Pangoro is fragile, it is able to withstand the fast attacks and have the time to build to those charge attacks, because there's no more my favorite Pokemon Wigglytuff on the field that can take Pangoro 2 or 3 charms, probably 3 charms.
But
right?
Charm was amazing. I remember Padaman winning with the Charm Alola Ninetales as well. So you're right that the fast attacks can apply a lot of pressure, but it really is the charge attacks getting the damage on the field.
Yeah, exactly. That was a great matchup to see. Now I want to see what your thoughts were from social media here. Let's take a look at what you have to say about the Dortmund Championships. We have here from Bench Style. He's also competing here today on our way to the Play Pokemon Tournament in Dortmund. See you all there. Look at all these plushies, Lou.
The Pokemon are ready. They're already getting in some of the scenic views on the road trip to this regional championship. Amazing to be able to see. And we were just talking about Alola Ninetales, and there is its Cantonian variant as well in prime position. Really love to be able to see this and the journey that our trainers are making, the adventures they're going on this weekend.
Exactly, whether they're from Germany or from other countries, players all over Europe have come here to compete. We even have a Latin player, by the way. Maybe we'll see him later, but that'll be cool to see as well. So yeah, great to see Bench Style. He's been a pretty enthusiastic player competing in play Pokemon, and perhaps we'll see more of him later today or in another tournament.
You can see that Ninetales actually in his profile pic as well from being on
Silas is the only player to hit legend this season till now. Wait, really?
On his Pokemon journey.
नहीं, I think so. और wait, और कोई नहीं hit हुआ legend? देखना पड़ेगा मुझे. मैंने देखा नहीं अभी तक.
Meta, I believe in the 2022 season when Weatherball was quite good. So here we see a post from Ross. Oh, look at that! Loving the action in Dortmund already, especially these cuts.
भाई Skarmory देखो भाई.
Sorry Amanda, I don't know your favorite. That's okay. We'll get to Amanda later. Who wins in battle, the Gastrodon duo or one Skarmory? I would say Lou, that would be us, right?
Definitely. There's 2v1 Pokemon and it's a Gastrodon. Hello.
And it's a Skarmory. Hello. It has been nerfed. Stealing has been nerfed. So unfortunate for Tomahawk and his favorite Pokemon, but it's now Gastrodon's time.
But also, if Farid is the pilot of the Skarmory, I'm not too worried. He can stick with Pangoro, but Skarmory, we can take him. We can take him.
Yeah, easy. I mean, the Gastrodon have just been great. Hopefully, we'll see some. Out on a hunt for a shiny Zacian, but that won't stop us from tuning into Dortmund Regional Champs. Well, Silver Cypher, I'm hoping you have a great time watching. And yeah, we have shiny Zacian.
Yeah, just now saw leaderboard. Okay.
You have a chance to get one if you do them.
You know he's a brother of Jonkers.
Exactly. There's so many amazing things to be able to do with the community here at the event. And you could see as well on the phone there, it was actually the video game side of the broadcast because there's Pokemon action left, right and center here in Dortmund.
But I believe Zacian's not allowed there right now, right?
Not right now, no. It's you know, back in its box.
Yeah, Zacian is pretty good in the Master League in Pokemon GO. So if you don't have one yet, this is your chance to get one. I've did a couple raids as well. I don't have my shiny just yet, but I'll keep going. Anyway,
right, I've just seen something.
There it is. We have the Gastrodon. It's wow, look at
Yo,
that.
Emmy Weedle, let's go, bro. भाई मजा आएगा अभी.
Right?
Emmy Weedle versus 23 EJB.
The team has a really nice aesthetic going on, so let's dive a little deeper.
Araconade, Gastrodon, Shadow, Feraligator, Azu, Alolan Sandslash. Wait, it's not Shadow. Feraligator. Yo, Dragonite! Bhai, Dragonite, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Dragonite has a lot of play, dude. Only problem is Alolan Sandslash. I think so, he will bring Dragonite.
But now,
23
can
EJB.
hang on to an Earthquake from Clodsire. That's why many players hang on to that Pokemon right now. And now from EJB's side, the Shadow Drapion, a menace. But what's even more a menace is the Dragonite. That is such an oppressive Pokemon. We've seen Artifacts, we've seen Guzzlord, but Dragonite, that has a very high attack stat.
We've seen Dragonite as well just do so much damage with its fast attack. Those Dragon Breaths, although they don't do a lot of damage, because they happen so quickly turn after turn, they can really farm
I
up
will support
so
me
much
Weedle
damage.
this match.
My eye, however, is on
Let's see.
Chestnut, because we saw in Baltimore how Chestnut was able to
So
apply
Shadow
a lot of pressure
Dragonite,
to the water
Chestnut,
types, and on Moveset
Feraligator.
side, we've actually got 1, 2,
Okay.
3, 4 water types.
It's kind of rough, right? Araquanid generally counters grass type Pokemon, but because of the fighting type of Chestnut,
What about you? I will go for the 23 JB
and I believe that
because of Shadow Dragonite.
Beam and Water Pulse is charge text, so both are resisted. So that's kind of tough. On top of that, the counter that you do have, the Alolan Sandslash, gets taken out by 1 superpower, which is double super effective from the Chestnut. That is, if it is running superpower over Thunder Punch, right? It does have that extra coverage. So yeah, good call by you, Lou. The Chestnut from the team that would Dodge won with in Baltimore. That's not EJB's team, but he had the Chestnut as well. It's looking really good into Emmy Weedle here. And EJB is the Bochum regional champion from the 2023 season. So that's going to be a tough opponent for Emmy Weedle.
Well, we've got 2 champions here, right? 2 very experienced veterans of the competition trying their hand at a brand new meta. The Chestnut, though, does have a few threats on the opposing side. It all, I think, is going to come down to the alignment. When these charge attacks are primed and ready to go, something like the Play Rough coming through from the Azumarill is going to be something
Please
that
bring
Chestnut
Shadow
really does not
Dragonite,
want to
please.
line up against. But of course, at the same time, if you haven't got to that Play Rough yet, there's a lot of pressure Chestnut can apply with its grass type attacks.
Exactly. When shields are in play, Chestnut is just so good. And I just got confirmation that there indeed is superpower on Chestnut and not Thunder Punch. Very unfortunate for Emmy Weedle, the 2024 EUIC champion. But, you know, we'll see. These 2 players can do anything, right? They've won championships before for a reason. And you know what, Lou? I think they came here to do it again.
Certainly. They want to be able to make a very firm impact at the beginning of the 2025 season and try, you know, establish themselves very early on in the meta as being someone to watch. Taking a closer look at some Pokemon we maybe haven't spoken about too much from our side, the Dunsparce. Dunsparce again being really strong, but I don't see it having too much utility here in this matchup. The rollouts, the rock type attacks, not going to be doing too much. I guess Araquanid isn't going to appreciate them, but generally looking at it, it's going to be hard for the Dunsparce, I think.
Dunsparce has some play, I would say. Alolan Sandslash, the regular version, does take super effective damage from Duron still, but it does less damage than on the Shadow, so it can hang on. It's not a great matchup for the Alone Stances though. The Clodsire takes super effective damage, but actually generally wins the matchup. Then Feraligatr actually wins the, I believe, the one shield scenario only. It loses the other ones because of double resisted Shadow Claw. But here we go. We don't have to wait much longer.
Okay.
Amiwido on the left side with the Clodsire on the right side. 23 EGP.
Oh,
with
bhai.
and this is exactly where Amiwido wants it.
Oh no, dude.
So this is a pretty good
This is
matchup
problem
for
now.
Clodsire.
Yes, really nice lead straight out the blocks here. Going to be able to apply some pressure, but switches galore. It's actually going to now be the Azumarill versus the Feraligatr.
Yeah, this is a pretty interesting matchup. Kind of even. I think that EJB can flip this if he wants to.
Yes, we're going to see the
Okay,
player
he let the first one go here.
On the board. There's going to be no shield in play, but of course Feraligatr is going to be able to take it. Does take a significant chunk, but has the Hydro Cannon ready to just start chipping away at this opposing Azumarill. I think it's nice both these trainers are currently preserving their shields because I think they're going to need it in the end game.
I'm curious to see if EJB can get bobbled down here by that Azumarill. That's going to be pretty close here. He has 2 Hydro Cannon at this point. I think you can force shields here. If Amiwido wants to keep switch advantage, he kind of has to, but no, he's letting it go. Maybe putting it all on the Feraligatr. Feraligatr may have Ice Beam from Amiwido, and in that case, it actually has good coverage. Getting through the Ice Beam.
Okay, so he's going to farm down with the chestnut now.
Feraligatr is going to be
That's his plan.
to the opposing Azumarill. Ice Beam able to connect, and now that chestnut's back front and center where there is no play rough locked in. So a really nice opportunity to farm down, get some energy so that you can apply pressure to Maweedle's final.
Is he using Sludge Bomb? Okay, he's using Sludge Bomb.
EJB actually, and here's the reason why he's not that strong into Clodsire at all. Both Chestnut and the Dunsparce don't have great matchup. On the other hand though, the Feraligatr from Amiwido also doesn't have a great matchup. So let's see what 23 EJB is going to do. He's going to try to catch a charge attack, and oh, he does try, but no, Amiwido doesn't fall for it. Goes for a Sludge Bomb regardless. Does the EJB shield this though? He does shield the
Oh no, he shielded the baits. Ouch.
Maweedle really holding his nerve at this point in time here, not falling for the catch, being able to apply pressure and burn through his shield on EJB's side of things. The Feraligatr just going to be able to take these rollouts all day long.
I think so, it's over.
Come through, it is going to be unshielded, but Feraligatr can take this.
It's quite fragile, but Dunsparce has a
failed to
low
catch.
attack, so yes, it can hang on indeed. The Shadow Claws are double resist, however, so they don't add up on the Dunsparce either. I think EJB really wants to hang on
I
to
think
his
so.
chestnut here, but if Amiwido can read that,
He can get the shield here if he wants.
let's see how he's going to do
Okay.
it. Going for the drone immediately, actually. Is he going to shield this? You kind of have to at this point, right?
I think you have to. You want to be able to go for the Hydro Counters, but no, Drillrun connects, gets the knockout. Now Maweedle forced to bring in this Clodsire.
Oh, and because we have a 50-second switch clock now, Amiwido able to swap out immediately. Does EJB shield this? You kind of have to. It's super effective, and he does put up the shield. He has to get to 2 charge stacks here, but is there enough time for the Chestnut to get there? You might want to even bait his superpower, but no. And now Amiwido is at the charge stack. He has 2 shields. Let's see what is going to happen here. Amiwido has to throw immediately, otherwise he loses.
I think so.
charge stack
Weedle
going
wins.
to this Chestnut.
Yeah, after a few more fast attacks as well, the Frenzy Plant I think might even be able to
Yep.
get the knockout. If
He will farm a lot here.
Precarious spots. Maweedle using those shields.
Yeah,
very
and
accurately
I think
here,
so.
but is it
Earthquake
gonna
will
be
KO
able to be
the
enough? Are you able to get the sludge bomb
other
off?
thing.
Here is
So
the big
yep, it's
question.
over.
Amiwido's building up energy. You not get the knockout here. But
Yep,
then you
it's
knock out
over.
the Dunsparce. Earthquake does
I think so.
less
Weedle
than
wins
all,
this.
and I believe Dunsparce is about
Amiwido,
all
sorry.
HP, so this is gonna get really close. Clodsire definitely is in drone range, and I think it is in Earthquake range. Here
Yep.
we go, Lou.
GG's.
Earthquake is being charged.
Let's see if it's going to be able to get the KO on this Dunsparce. It is bulky, but we know that Clodsire definitely has the capability to deal a huge amount of damage. The Earthquake comes through, gets the knockout, but Weedle takes game 1.
Wow, great play by Amiwido. I thought he had to shield that Feraligatr, but no. He put it all on, well, the number 1 Pokemon in the meta, the Clodsire, right? Everyone's thinking, wow, Chestnut's so good for Amiwido. At least, by everyone, I mean, at least me. Thinking, how are you going to deal with Chestnut? And Amiwido, he played like a very interesting ABB line. And an ABB line in this case is where he led strong into the Chestnut, and he had 2 Pokemon weak to Chestnut in the back. So I think if Amiwido didn't lead into that into the Chestnut, he would have swapped in either the Azumarill or the Feraligatr to try and bait it out, and then clean up with Clodsire.
I think you're right in the way that Maweedle controlled that entire match, even from the lead, like you said, getting the Clodsire out against the Chestnut, because Chestnut really was the Pokemon you had to fell in this match. Otherwise, EJB would have way too much momentum and could run through with that Chestnut. Calling it so perfectly there, and then again, really doubling down on making sure Clodsire could come through at the end, go for those charge attacks.
He just should have
get
shielded
so much damage on
Azumu.
the
He
board.
needed to the
I know there
switch.
wasn't a
No,
dash
no.
bomb, but I do know
Even
it's
if he
steering from the
switch,
sidelines and it's doing
the
very
Clodsire
well
with
as
shield
a smaller
advantage will be
Pokemon right now.
problem.
Do you think think we're going to see similar Pokemon, or if you're AGB, for example, could you shake things up?
And he had a Gator in the back. Wait.
See the accolades. All he has so many accolades.
Maveset was using Gator. क्या Gator था क्या? मैं भूल गया team. क्या था? Clodsire.
EUIC champion 2024.
Azu.
EUIC at seniors 2022.
What was his last Pokemon?
Yes, Lou, I do think we're gonna see Clodsire again because I don't think the Pokemon that EJB has are that strong.
Okay.
Except this matchup. This is where this is the one Pokemon that's really strong into the Clodsire from Emiweedle. But if you look at the other Pokemon, they all don't really like it. Trying to catch an attack here, and let's see what EJB is going to do. Staying in, going for the Hydro Cannon. I think EJB might have an idea of what's in the back for Emiweedle.
Yeah, momentum has switched with these leads. The Hydro Cannon is going to come through. Of course, Azumarill can take this really, really well, but it doesn't want to take too many.
Bait out the Chestnut now.
Spot with the Chestnut on the field. The play rough is ready to go. Now already, EJB forced to maybe potentially go for one of these shields and burn them earlier than in game
And Gator, wait, he's not shielding it.
Interesting play here, letting the player off go, doing super effective damage. I'm not sure if the Azumarill can double shield and bubble down because they are resistant, but EJB would otherwise definitely be able to pull some shields here, taking some more bubbles.
Okay, I don't mind the play here, but he will farm down the Chestnut now with his Clodsire.
Nice play here by the Chestnut, being able to farm up lots of energy and make it more formidable for when that Clodsire comes in as well.
Yeah, now he farmed down this thing.
Another Frenzy Plant. I mean,
then he will throw the Earthquake.
Damage, so definitely still significant.
It does a really good chunk of damage here. Frenzy Plant, one of the most efficient attacks in the game.
Now he has a lot of energy.
Has a lot of energy, but we must remember there's still a Hydro Cannon stored. And swapping into Duns, and no, Emiweedle swapped into his better matchup, but no, EJB wants to preserve the Dunsparce for the Clodsire. Interesting there, going for the Hydro Cannon, and Emiweedle no shields immediately. This is resistant, but still it's like half HP of the Feraligatr.
Honestly, being the Shadow variant does weaken your defenses, and you can see how susceptible they are to these Hydro Cannons. I mean, which Feraligatr is going to come out on top? A shield comes down here for Emiweedle.
How are you going to play this as Emiweedle? Because this is looking very rough. Your Clodsire is quite low as well. You have 2 Hydro Cannon at this point.
Yeah, he has the 2 Hydros. Wait, is he going to double shield farm down?
Maybe going to double shield and try to Shadow Claw down the opposing Feraligatr to have the energy for the opposing Clodsire. Because Feraligatr with charge attack.
Yeah, he can't shield this. If you shield, dude, he can snipe.
I think Emiweedle here just being able to apply pressure to get rid of
both
now
he can snipe.
So they're not
easy.
there to be able to protect the Dunsparce in the back. Does give him a little bit of momentum, but the
oh
is
no.
not on the stage for long. It's now going to be the Clodsire returning. It does have the energy stacked up, and there's the switch.
Then the
nice catch.
Catching the less efficient slush bomb here.
Okay, he had the Hydro. Now he just needs shield. I think so wins. EJB wins here.
But it does make sure that EJB doesn't take an Earthquake there. Going for the drill run. I think at this point you can't really shield Emiweedle because he knows his Hydro Cannon stored on the Feraligatr, and Emiweedle letting the drill run go. Super effective. Doesn't take out just yet. Now how long is this gonna take? The rollouts are resistant.
Okay, well played, well played. I must catch here.
EJB ties up the score to 1-1.
And I love that we got to see the benefit of the new switch timer as well, being able to allow those switches to come in a little bit earlier, allow EJB to bring that Dunsparce back in and gain the momentum right at the end of that match. If it was still
EJB ne Dragonite लाया नहीं हाँ ना भाई Dragonite please bring the Dragonite dude bhai if you bring the Dragonite he can beat Claude and Gator. Oh my god यो PG advisor recommend में bro तुम ये से क्यों देख रहे हो भाई watch party है Pokemon GO regional championship so हम यहाँ पे डिस्कस कर सकते हैं बहुत कुछ अपोनेंट के प्लेस नॉट सॉरी अपोनेंट्स प्लेयर्स के प्ले लाइक प्लेयर्स कैसे खेलते हैं आप भी देख सकते हो उनकी टीम्स एंड कॉम्बिनेशन अभी जस्ट देखा हमने 23 EJB ने जो कैच किया स्लज बम on the Dunsparce. Yeah, catch was the win con.
Get big damage on the field with the Frenzy Plant is something where Weedle does still have to play around. For me, it's been very interesting how the shields have been utilized because both our trainers seem to want to keep them in their back pocket towards the end of the game, and they're now maybe trying to apply pressure and force their opponent to use them earlier.
It's a tough decision, right? Because once you use your shield, it might change the decision tree.
Okay.
And here we go, and Weedle not running the exact same.
Okay, it's a Dunsparce now.
Lead, and it's into the Dunsparce. I'm not sure if EJB exactly likes this. He has the Feraligatr in the back, but he also has the.
Yo guys, wait, Dunsparce beat.
Yes,
wait,
just gonna be able to
you guys, Azu beat the freaking Spider Chat. Anyone know?
Still there's a significant chunk of damage, but that Earthquake is ready to go down into this Dunsparce.
Looking at the team from Emiweedle, I think.
Please shield, please shield. Oh, great shield, nice shield.
Switch advantage. This is interesting, and I'm not sure if Emiweedle wants to switch out.
Azu does not need shield, so.
In the back, he might want to switch out. But like I said, with Clothesire in the lead here, I think EJB knows that
Spider, Araquanid, dude. I don't know what are the movesets on the Araquanid, man. Can he farm down this thing? Yo, Corey, welcome in. Good morning.
Let's see what Emmy is going to do here, because I think if he wants to spit out the chestnut,
Yeah, Araquanid will be a problem.
because that's the only thing that
He doesn't have the answer for the Araquanid, man.
Drone's going to knock out, and luckily Emmy Weedle has the Azumarill to take all the damage here, and he doesn't want the Araquanid on it. But look at that! In comes Araquanid, Emmy Weedle's signature Pokemon, and I have no idea, Lou, how this matchup is gonna go. Araquanid is really slow to his charge attacks.
Okay, it's Azu versus Azu with shield down.
Actually, it does more than I thought it would.
Oh, it can take those Hydro Cannons all day long. The water typing really being beneficial here. You're right, though, it takes a long time to get to its charge attack.
Is he going to shield this?
Both of the shields in possession for Maweedle, but I don't know if you need it here.
Let's it go as well. You kind of have to throw your Bug Buzz pretty quickly here. Let's see, getting pretty low here. I'm not sure if he can get to a charge second.
He can shield farm down.
Super effective damage.
Yeah, he can shield farm down.
Using a shield here.
Oh, wait.
Oh, he's gonna be super annoying with this Feraligatr.
Oh no, oh man, we should have not thrown.
Luckily though, we have a 50-second switch clock, so we can just get rid of it.
Yeah, but no
Two
shield
shield Azu, man.
Here, so the Hydro Cannon is going to be able to get the knockout on the Spider here, bringing the little Azumarill back into play.
Exactly, answered by the Dunsparce, clearing the debuff as
He can't farm down the Azu though. Wait, sorry, he can't farm down the Dunsparce. I think so, he will throw the Ice Beam
but there is no chestnut on EJB side.
immediately.
So the lower
Or maybe farm some extra, okay.
the tougher it's going to get for Emmy Weedle, even though he has 2 shields still.
Yes, of course, the bubbles coming through as well, stacking up, and we're going to be able to see this Ice Beam come through. It is enough to be able to get the knockout, though, so Feraligatr or the Azumarill on the opposing side.
Now what he will do?
It's going to be a battle of the water types here, Martijn.
Exactly, well, unfortunately no Gastrodon, but Azumarill putting in a great show here, and because the Azumarill is so slow and the bubbles are resisted, you can hardly get a farm down here on the Azumarill. In comes another Hydro Cannon. You gotta use your shields at some point, Emmy Weedle.
Come on, there we go. Azumarill protected in this match. Going to be able to try and apply pressure with something like the Play Rough and get rid of this opposing.
He just need damage.
The farm down is going to be dicey, but we're going to see a switch. Azumarill versus Azumarill.
EJB tried catching an Ice Beam there.
I think so, EJB wins here. Yo, Ethos, welcome in. Nice party, yo, thanks. Look at this.
I believe the Feraligatr is 1 or 2 Shadow Claw off another
Ethos, are you not going to Dortmund?
But Emmy Weedle's Azumarill is slowly getting.
I think so, he's one off for the next Hydro. He lose CMP here. Yeah, it's over. 23 EJB wins.
Yeah, he has no switch ability as well, with this being his last remaining Pokemon. The Play Rough is going to come through.
Yeah, it's over.
Already shaking his head, knowing that this endgame is not ideal for the Azumarill. It's going to be able to at least get one more Play Rough.
Oh, no Dragonite, man.
Opponent.
I am there, you send me freaking gifts. Wait, no lag, bro.
And Emmy Weedle knows that there's a Hydro Cannon, or almost a Hydro Cannon from the Feraligatr, going for the Ice Beam. EJB is going to take this match by 2-1.
Okay, EJB wins, chat. EJB wins.
Need the chestnut in this match, just knowing that it's on the
Yo, PG advisor, bro, आपको कुछ सीखने मिला कि नहीं? इस सब regionals party देखोगे ना आप? Regional championship. आप सीखोगे बहुत.
Absolutely. And not bringing the Dragonite too was interesting, right? I think Dragonite had a lot of play here, but EJB just kept reading that the Azumarill would come out every time from Emmy Weedle as the one water type Emmy Weedle had with that coverage for the chestnut that looks so good for EJB.
I will be on stage. You shut up, dude.
The mind games just really good on EJB's side. I think on both players' ends, right? Because Emmy Weedle did go for that to adapt to the Araquanid to be a little bit stronger into the chestnut.
It was nice seeing the Araquanid as well, but you're right, getting to that bug
catch was beautiful, dude.
And that was time that
भाई जो sludge bomb का catch किया ना भाई, next level catch.
Wasn't able, particularly when the shield went up on the opposing side.
Yeah, so who is going to win this regional?
I think potentially if Araquanid
Jonkus or Wireless?
a little bit later, and then you know that Bug Buzz would have been able to connect. That could be exactly what Araquanid needed to be able to get victory.
And I want to point out another thing that you said. The players kept their shields for the very end, but in the third game, it was only Emmy Weedle who did that.
Yeah.
EJB adapted right from the start, right? He went for the shield on the Dunsparce, on the Earthquake, and then even shielded the
Jonkus is
Feraligatr,
there.
was so low HP.
His brother's Wireless is also there.
Expect him to shoot there, but he
Imagine
did.
they both are playing against each other. Yeah, that would be fun.
Keep pressuring that Azumarill from Emmy Weedle.
I think as well because he knew that the chestnut wasn't there, obviously. So so he could kind of apply that pressure a little bit more. If we take a look at the replay straight out of the blocks here, it was a very slow and steady start compared to all the switches we saw in games 1 and 2. But the Clodsire just throwing down its ground type attacks and then retaliating with a ground type attack on the opposing side from the Dunsparce just meant that so much energy was being brought up but also released early on.
And here we see the catch from 23 EJB. The Slush Bomb doing a little bit less damage than an Earthquake. I'm not sure if it would have mattered a lot. There was a Hydro Cannon stored there on it for Alligator as well. And here we see the end game where Emmy Weedle saw the writing on the wall. Ice Beam coming through. Also here, the Feraligatr in the back from EJB, so crucial because it was so close to a charge stack that it kept pressuring Emmy Weedle to keep his shields.
And because you can get to those Hydro
Look at this Tyranitar shit.
even though they don't do a huge amount of damage, after about 3 of them,
Look at this Tyranitar here.
And that's where again you can start
it looks so cute, dude.
And burn through them.
भाई क्या दिख रहा है यार?
Both of our trainers really favoring the water types in there, and we definitely got to see a splash of action.
Chonkus and Zweilers sometimes both misplay on regional.
Yeah, Gastrodon wasn't quite there, but he was.
Let's
in the
see.
back, that could also be a reason, you know, Gastrodon and the water types. It's got a little bit of a reputation there from some of the other games, so maybe that's why it took a back seat for now.
Gastrodon was a little bit difficult to utilize in that matchup, I think, right? Yeah. With the Dragonite and the Chesnaught, 2 Pokemon that are so good into Gastrodon, maybe it'll get another chance to shine. I know Zephymastix, for example, has one, so there are more Gastrodon in the tournament. We might even see other Mud Slap Pokemon, such as one of my favorites, Shadow Marowak.
Yeah, no one is using Shadow Marowak.
How do I say this? High fast attack pressure charm or Smackdown. Then we now
Pangoro
have
bhi hai left mein.
Marowak with Mud Slap.
Yeah, Pangoro is also looking good.
I think you're right though. In that particular matchup, I think
भाई उसके जो मुंह में जो like पत्ता जैसे है भाई वो क्या दिख रहा है?
Being able to have that longevity on the field and keep charging up all the damage, I think did make Clodsire the one that had to be selected out of the ground.
Daigo always misplacing GVL. Yeah, thanks.
But it is true.
I just love how it looks like, Blue. It just looks so derpy. It's like, right? I love it. And I think Out of Pocket at Baltimore even had the double Sire team, right? He had the Clodsire and the Quagsire. I loved it. And he said in his interview as well, it's like his favorite Pokemon, the Quagsire. And then imagine both Pokemon are good. Isn't that just wonderful?
I feel like they almost are confused why they're there. Like, you know, they've joined the wrong queue, they're in the wrong venue, and they're like, hi, yeah,
I'm just
pretend
here.
everything's normal, cool, yeah, I did a battle, I did well, okay, yeah, we know what we're doing. And it's almost like that fake it till you make it vibe, but actually they've made it. Like, particularly the Clodsire is doing pretty well right now.
Clodsire was a Community Day Pokemon last year, November. It may be possible that it will be featured again during the December Community Day or weekend, and that will be a great opportunity for players to catch one. They're also spawning at the venue at regional championships all over the world. So if you're missing a Clodsire, you can get one there, and I believe that its legacy charge stack that it receives with a Community Day is Mega Horn. You don't really need that charge stack unless you really don't like Cresselia. If you're playing against Lurgan Rocket, maybe you want Mega Horn, but for everyone else, either Sludge Bomb and Stone Edge, and also Earthquake.
I mean, maybe it's good to have one just, you know, waiting in the wings in your box just to make sure in case ever you do need it and Cresselia is really getting you down, you want to be able to apply pressure. But speaking of pressure, I think it's time to hear from our trainer who actually did apply the pressure on that previous game. Our winner of that last match, EJB.
Interview, chair, interview. मजा आएगा.
Thank you, Martijn and Lou. Those were some really, really impressive games from 2 really impressive players. Now, I'm joined by the winner of that series, EJ. And EJ, you were up against a senior champion, a world champion, a recent regional champion, but you're no pushover yourself.
ये balls देखो भाई यहाँ पे.
Tell me through your story.
Well, I qualified for all world championships so far. But I haven't played the game really since EYC last year, so I felt a bit rusty going into this tournament. But I feel confident in my picks, and it showed off. I'm 3-0. See how far this can go.
And that was some really clean gameplay as well. You brought an interesting team there. Shadow Dragonite, I was really excited to see that this weekend. How did you feel about it?
So I used Shadow Dragonite at EYC as well, and I just love it. It puts so much pressure onto the opponent.
Yep, that's true.
It hasn't come to a game yet this tournament, but it's good sitting on a bench. It's a good bench sitter, bench warmer, so we'll see. Maybe it comes later on.
And which was, okay, those games then specifically, I saw you use Shadow for Alligator a lot. Your Chesnaught also had a lot of pressure against Emmy Weedle's team. How are you feeling about using those 2 Pokemon?
So Shadow Gator is, in my opinion, the best Pokemon in the game at the moment. And before the tournament, I was debating between Chesnaught and Chaperia. And I actually asked Pocket, Hot Pocket, yeah. I'll ask him what he thinks about the team, and he says, yeah, Superior dropped so much over Chestnut, you should just bring that and just don't run into Wigglytuff and you're fine. So
it worked, didn't it?
It did work out pretty good.
And what are you feeling about the 50-second switch timer? Because I saw that there was a catch on that Dunsparce that was just in time.
I think that saved me there, honestly. I feel good about the meta. I feel good about the switch timer change. It's amazing, honestly. Yeah. I feel good playing the game again.
Yeah, you're enjoying it.
Yeah, I really enjoy it.
That's really good to hear. And that was your winners round 3. How are you feeling going through to the rest of the tournament? Day 2, will we see you there?
I sure hope so. I mean, last time I was day 2 was Utrecht last year, and we know who won that because I paid extra. I lost against the Inadequates there.
Paid extra.
He asked you to let him win, right?
Exactly, yeah, like he always does. And so it worked out, and it will work out this weekend. And I sure hope I can make day 2.
Yeah, and you've got lots of friends here with you today.
Of course, yeah. I want to shout out my entire team. They are waiting somewhere here, but they probably don't pay attention to me because who am I? But shout out to Wasted Potential, shout out to my friends and homies who are here with me.
I'm sure they're watching you on the screen out there, and I'm sure you're enjoying
Hey, banda bahut cool hai bhai.
Well. EJ, those are some really good games. I'm really excited to see you hopefully get into day 2 and see how far can you improve on Utrecht?
I sure hope so. I mean, I made top 4 there, so improving would be one finals, I think. So we'll see.
Yeah, and you've been talking to Pocket like you said. So tell me your probability, chances of winning.
Let's say, what's this? 777%.
777%. EJ, those are some really fun games to watch. Maxwell's not.
What do you think Mumbai से कौन qualify होगा for India qualifiers? I don't know, bro.
Martin and Lou, take it away with the next couple of games.
कभी है India qualifiers?
I didn't ask you to let me win, EJ. That is not true. Anyway, well played. Let's give him that. He did play well. He got top 4 in Utrecht indeed, and he's on his way to improve even, right? He's been successful in Germany before, won the Bochum Regional Championship 2023, so success is lurking.
Definitely a player to keep their eye on, and I think after that comment, let's say, I think you need a little bit of cheering up. And I actually have something for you because, as you might notice, I kind of like Gastrodon. And every single time we talk with the commentators, everyone's like, yep, Lou and the East Sea Gastrodon. And Martine is always like, West Coast is best coast. You prefer the pink monstrosity. But in order to make you feel welcome, on this Gastrodon desk, I actually have a little gift for you. So this is your very own little Gastrodon.
And I'll give you the one that you already gave me first.
There is actually now officially a pink Gastrodon on the broadcast with you.
This makes me very happy. Now I want to see one win the tournament, actually.
Well, we have the amazing artwork we saw from the social posts, so I think it's only fitting that you now actually have a pink Gastrodon to have by your side.
Thanks so much, Lou. I appreciate that. One of the Gastrodon unfortunately got dropped to the loser bracket from Zephy Mastix, but we'll see the winner or the player who knocked down Zephy Mastix on stream soon. I believe that Alejandro versus Ibi is going to be our next matchup, and Alejandro, one of the Italian players, I think he has some interesting picks as well. I believe he has a Guzzlord.
Oh, that would be really cool to see. Again, Dark types really kind of rising up at the moment. You've also got, the Galarian Moltres. We've had Malamar come through. Really interesting to see how Dark types are on the rise. So I'd like to see a Guzzlord. That'd be pretty cool.
And Alejandro's just so happy always, right? He's
very positive person.
I love it when someone shows some emotion, right? He's come here to travel and compete, and he wants to win. He got a medal before Interin, and it was a great experience for Alejandro.
Yeah, Tos, do you have a medal?
But of course, Eevee's also a very good player. I believe he got far in previous tournaments as well, so not going to be an easy opponent.
Okay.
Here we go on the left. He didn't bring the Guzzlord. It looks like he dropped it. He brought another dark type. It is the Malamar. We have double water in for Alligator and Toxapex. We have the Diggersby, the Dunsparce, and the Cresselia. And on the right,
Alindro?
I love this one pick that I see there, Lou.
Ibi
I'm
Quer.
not gonna lie.
Dude, I don't know how to pronounce.
Gastrodon here, Eevee would have been
How
in
do I
trouble.
pronounce it?
I like the Ariados. It does have Trailblaze, which is a grass type charge attack, but Shadow Typhlosion. Oh, Shadow Typhlosion. That Pokemon is so strong if you can give it all your shields. I think in this team from Alejandro, the Dunsparce might be iffy, but I feel like everything is playable. You even have Thunder Punch as coverage charge attack to deal super effective damage into the Toxapex. And you also pace equally fast as the Feraligatr, so on even energy, Typhlosion, the fire type Pokemon, can defeat the water type Pokemon, Feraligatr.
I mean, you were talking about kind of that fast attack pressure as well, and Typhlosion gets the Incinerate, right? So that already can deal so much damage out there on the board. but the alignment's going to be very, very tricky for it. Like you said, it needs the shields, it needs to have those protected, otherwise Pokemon like the Diggersby, Pokemon like the Feraligatr are just going to be able to steamroll through them thanks to their type advantage.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm curious to see how Alejandro is going to tackle this. The Malamar does look quite free on both sides, in my opinion. Cresselia has Moonblast, the fairy type coverage for Malamar, but one doesn't take out, and Psycho Cut is triple resisted, so that's not going to deal a lot of damage to the Malamar. I think we might see a lot of that Pokemon on both sides here, and yeah, it's only the Ariados that can really threaten it, right? Because Lunch, even though Ariados as a poison type Pokemon takes super effective damage from the Cyrus, which is super effective on it, it has Lunch, a bug type charge stack, and it's double super effective on Malamar.
Does it take a while to get to it though, or
no, 5 poison sting. It's like you blink and it's there.
Brilliant.
So
okay, Ariados maybe is going to be able to get some vengeance then, being able to get some good bug type moves out on the field. I feel like Dugong's in a little bit of a dangerous spot. It probably is just going to take a little bit of a seat here, considering there aren't any, can't see any dragon types, can't see any grass types on Alejandro's side. So maybe Dugong can take a rest for this one here. But the most interesting thing I find about Alejandro's team is there is no Clodsire. You know, it's been a staple so far. I mean, it's like, you know, he didn't get the memo or something. But you do still have some of the key Pokemon in here. A lot of those bulkier choices, the Diggersby, and again, being able to have something like the ground type attack, really nice into that Typhlosion.
No, you say that about Clodsire, but Eevee does that for Alligator. So it goes both ways, kind of.
Maybe they traded. They were like, we can only have one. I'll take this one. You take this one. That could be a way that they worked through it.
I also have confirmation on the second charge stack on the Cresselia. They generally all have Grass Knot for water type Pokemon. And then it's either Moonblast or Future Sight. It looks like Alejandro has Moonblast, so that does threaten that Malamar a little bit, but also makes the Clodsire from Eevee a little bit better. You talked about Dugong. I think Dugong actually does have good neutral play just because of its bulk and its ability to debuff the attack from the opponent. So that even makes Pokemon like Malamar and Cresselia still manageable matchups. You kind of need it for that Diggersby, because Diggersby looks pretty good into Eevee's team, right? I would say it's decent into the Ariados.
Typhlosion is really good.
Typhlosion and the Dunsparce, good into the Clodsire. It's really only the Dugong and Malamar that cover it, but Dugong is so difficult to bring here.
It is difficult to bring, but I think actually make a really valid point.
Can you increase commentary volume as it's low? But really?
So you do need something that's going to apply some pressure to that opposing Diggersby, otherwise it's just going to be able to tank attacks all match long.
How is it now?
Do you think the leads in this particular one are going to be momentum sweeping like we've seen previously, or is there a lot of neutral play that our trainers could go for here?
I think there's a lot of neutral play, and but the leads also might have a big role in this. Ariados can actually win the 2 shield scenario into Diggersby. Even though your Poison Sting is resisted, you have Trailblaze, which is not only super effective, but also buffs your attack the whole time. Here we go! Alejandro on the left, Eevee on the right. We have the Dunsparce into the Malamar.
Okay.
This is an interesting lead. I would say this is slightly in favor of Malamar because it has superpower and it gets there in only
भाई पीछे Ariados देखो भाई
really quickly.
भाई वो ready है Cresselia के लिए
They want to throw after the first superpower, but at that point Malamar's already at 2 superpowers. So let's see. Go for the foul play first, and Alejandro not shooting. That is a great call.
Yeah, no shields. Dunsparce still here with all the energy to boot. Going to be able to retaliate with the drill run here, but no shield on Eevee's side either. So Malamar's going to have to take this.
Yeah, and because he went for the foul play, Eevee, he was not at 2 charge stack just yet. Now he's at he's now at a superpower, and Duran is coming through. Dunsparce is making this much closer than it should be. Malamar generally is good because of that superpower, but Eevee hasn't even thrown one yet. Let's see what he's going to throw now. Is he? Oh! Catches! Oh no, he catches.
He catches the superpower.
But no, it's not the catch you want.
It's
super
over.
Effective.
Oh no, okay.
Ouch.
Unfortunately, Diggersby going to have to be able to take this damage, but still, the catch nonetheless, a really nice play coming in. The Ariados, however, is going to be joining.
But look at how important this Diggersby would have been into this backline. Going for charge security on the Trailblaze here. You can't take the first Trailblaze here. I think as Alejandro, you kind of have to no shield there. He's talking in himself and talking himself into the right choice, taking that Trailblaze, because the next one would have done way more damage, and now Eevee is going to ramp up this spider. That can get really dangerous because that Moonblast Australia in the back doesn't have a lot of play into this.
Can he farm down? I don't think so.
Yes, being able to get the buff as well, making it a really formidable pressure here. The bunny trying to farm down, but
oh my god, he's not chilling it.
This charge attack. It is going to go unshielded, however, but Ariados has reasonable bulk, going to be able to take this, even though it's super effective.
Do you now buff your attack, or do you debuff the opponent with the lunge? Let's see. Going for the lunge on charge security. Is Alejandro going to shields to get rid, or try to pull the last shield? See what choice he's making. Not talking to himself.
Oh my god, his shield.
Yes, he does shield. This lunge does it knock out on 1 HP. A shield usually does 1 HP damage. Keep that in mind. But this Diggersby has a lot of HP, So Alejandro gets away there.
Yep, just able to hang on. The Diggersby is not down and out yet, forcing the shield to come through on EB
भाई
side.
पीछे Cresselia भाई जो
The option, do you bring in this Cresselia or the Dunsparce here? The energy
he's going to shield this.
Yet, but Ariados has got that ready to go with another lunge.
So tough if he lets this go.
Wait, okay.
He lets it go, it knocks out. Here's the problem, Lou, because the Cresselia come in, but you now get debuff. This is super
Okay.
effective.
Wait a minute. Dude, it's a boosted lunge.
Let's see what Alejandro's going to do.
Okay.
Going to be a shield coming through from Alejandro. Wanting to make sure this Cresselia is nice and healthy because it has got a mountain to climb. The Dunsparce so healthy.
Debuff Cresselia versus the Dunsparce shield. Good afternoon. Increase the sound buddy. And India का कोई गया है कि नहीं? India का कोई नहीं है. ये अभी regional ship हो रहा है जर्मनी में. I think so. Volume वहाँ से ही लो है. I guess so.
I still think that it really comes down to the Moonblast debuff, and Alejandro not waiting, he's going for it right away.
Straight away, trying to get as many of these out on the floor.
Moonblast debuff चाहिए रहेगा.
Debuff in play to gain momentum back into this match. Moonblast is going to connect
no
with
debuff.
drops.
Wow, and hanging on there, is the next Moonblast gonna knock out here? That's gonna be the question. Duran charges really fast, and I don't think that the next Duran might knock out just yet. No, I don't think so. So it might come down to a catch here from EB. Let's see if he's able to make this catch. And oh, they're going for the Duran now. Alejandro maybe predicted the catch. He's not going to knock out yet, but now you have to side cut down that Ariados as well. Let's see. It's gonna get so close, Lou.
Oh, only a couple more fast attacks to be able to get the knock. I think one more rollout will be able to do it, but first of all, the Moonblast will come through.
Yeah, anyway, I started Moonblasting, and here it comes. It's going to knock out the Dunsparce. No, it doesn't. I think it hangs on to another side cut here, and one more rollout.
GG's.
Out. They see me rolling. They take out the Cresselia, and here we go. He's taking the first win here.
Slow and steady can sometimes very much indeed win that race. The rollouts taking their time, but being able to get that damage on the board and get those charged attacks ready to go. Whew.
Wow, Ariados, right?
Yeah, Ariados was amazing in that match. The lunge pressure just forcing those shields to come through from Alejandro, masterful play.
Even in one of its worst matchup, the Diggersby, Ariados still really hang on there with that Trailblaze. I also think that the catch from Alejandro may not have really
Trailblaze
here, right?
buff and lunge debuff.
I think he was hoping to catch a foul play there on the Diggersby, and taking that damage there actually made it so difficult for him to take out the Ariados.
Well, it was a nice idea, but the execution maybe just wasn't as clean. You do not want to have to take one of those big super effective attacks. But the Diggersby still was able to hold its own, being able to, use its bulk to hang on, I think on 1 HP right at the very end, but able to get one more charge attack through. Just meant that both these trainers were really looking to when those charge attacks were going to be utilized the most effectively. And then when we got to the end without the shields, it was just very much who can get them off the fastest.
And what if he had shielded the lunge on the Dunsparce near the end game? Then your Cresselia wouldn't get debuffed, and maybe you would have had a farm down on that Ariados with the super effective rollout. And that may have been key as well for Alejandro, but of course, we see what's in the back. It's obvious for us. It's not obvious for them, right?
I think the Diggersby then needs to make sure that it's in a position where it's not going to take unnecessary damage so that it can apply pressure to that Ariados, because it was a really key piece in the puzzle for EB here. I think as well, considering that poison types really are on the rise, seeing the Ariados come through is a threat that maybe a lot of players haven't necessarily faced as much because it's not as common, but it's definitely something that I think is going to be picked up, having already seen it showcase here.
We saw it from, I believe it was from it was from Colin earlier. The only threat it really has is fire-type Pokemon. And we saw Talonflame earlier. Talonflame is not on Alejandro's team, so Ariados is kind of free. I think we should always expect this from Eevee, even into the Malamar, which has Psywave dealing super effective damage pretty hard.
He will bring the Ariados every game, I think so.
One charge attack. So
Ariados is so good against like everything.
Really into this matchup.
Only problem will be the Dunsparce.
You basically, the only matchup you really lose in the lead is the Dunsparce. Even the Feraligatr is fine, because Ariados generally has a higher attack, which means you pace equally fast to the charge stack. And that means if you land your Trailblaze, super effect on the Feraligatr, you can Poison Sting down. If they shield, you just throw your next one and knock them out.
And those Poison Stings come through hard and fast as well. You don't need many of them to be able to get the lunge up or the Trailblaze as well. So depending if it's a Malamar or a Feraligatr, like you said, you can apply charge attack pressure very early on, and Ariados is out front and center. But the Dunsparce is bad, right?
Oh
it's
my
exactly
god.
what I said. the worst thing
Now which problem?
Here. But EB has a very solid save switch into the Malamar, going in there right away. What do you do here as Alejandro? This is kind of tricky, right? Oh, now going into the Diggersby, which is very interesting. I think Alejandro might not might be thinking that his Diggersby can take his charge stacks quite comfortably. He definitely knows now how much a superpower would do.
Yes.
So he knows that range, taking the foul play first, which doesn't do a lot of damage.
Does considerably less than the fighting type attack did for sure. But Diggersby now able to actually start farming up some energy. It's going to be another foul play coming through here. So Alejandro not being baited into using up any of these shields, just going to be able to take another foul play.
Yeah, and he knows that he wasn't on the superpower range, so you get very smart no-shoot by Alejandro. I think he even would have preferred the superpower to hit him, because then this Malamar would have been debuffed. Scorcher chance coming in, 30% chance to drop the attack, but not this time for Alejandro. And throwing right before the fire punch. Very good counting from EB here. But Luke, this makes such a good farm down for that Relegator. No! Looks like Alejandro is shielding!
Yep, shields the superpower on this time, and the debuff will come through as another charge attack from this Diggersby is ready.
He's throwing
Dude, Gator will farm down.
I think that Alejandro may have been able to farm this down, or even otherwise got more energy. The Ariados has a tough time farming this down, so I don't think that's happening either. Let's see if Alejandro's able to get to a fire punch. Yes, EB decides to charge up more energy instead.
Okay.
And going to shield us actually.
Yeah, I mean, you did say Ariados is really threatened by fire type, so the fire punch coming through would have been extremely damaging. But once again, this bunny is able to apply pressure with both of its charge attacks. It's just on such low HP.
Throwing
Can
Trailblaze
Ariados get the KO before it
for
gets
the
knocked out
boost.
itself?
I'm
Nice.
curious to see if EB is going to decide to ramp up this Ariados here. Let's see. I believe that the Dunsparce did it have a rock slide? I believe Alejandro didn't throw any energy into. Yeah, they had a rock slide
had
here.
one ready.
Now going for the launch. This is boosted, so gonna do a little bit more damage, but Dunsparce is bulky, it can hang on it, and that's a rock slide for this Ariados.
Yes, and it has a lot of HP to play with at the moment, and those charge attacks ready, but the attack drop is going to come through. So a nice switch into Feraligatr here to apply some pressure. The Shadow Claws, of course, doing negligible damage, but the Hydra Cannon's ready to go.
Yeah, Alejandro was waiting there for a turn to make sure that the rock slide wouldn't get caught, but now the Feraligatr doesn't have a lot of places to go here. You don't win the zero shoot scenario here. Alejandro is going for the Hydra Cannon on perfect timing. Bellissimo play by Alejandro there. And letting the first Hydro go. I think that EB is now the
So
next.
he need to throw the
charge
immediate.
stack. He has to throw it immediately, otherwise Alejandro can throw the Hydro Cannon, and looks like EB does do that.
You need to use your shield.
Is he going to? Okay, he's shielding here. I
I
think so. It's over because one rock slide will knock out the
and try and get rid of this Dunsparce.
Ariados.
I think Alejandro just wants. Oh man, going for it. The alignment there. Rollout sneaks through. This might allow EB to get to another charge stack. I'm not sure. I think he's one off
Okay,
now.
he's shielding
Let's
now.
see. Going to shield it up indeed. And he's one off. Going to knock this out. It's going to come down to the Dunsparce of Alejandro, which still has a rock slide. Keep that in mind. So as long as Alejandro doesn't take a charge stack from this Pokemon, he may be okay here. Let's see. In comes the Ariados. Does this knock out? Rock slide is nerfed, but still super effective.
Yes, and of course,
It's
when
nerf.
there's shields on
Wait,
either
he
side,
can
the
lunge
Ariados
here.
is incredibly vulnerable. It is going to connect. Not enough to get the knockout, but the super effective damage.
Oh no,
is
he's
gonna
throwing
hurt.
Trailblaze.
There is, however, of course, the charge attack ready here too.
He's throwing the Trailblaze.
He should have thrown the lunge.
But I think you need to go for the lunge here to debuff the opposing Dunsparce, right? Because now the Dunsparce might be able to knock out the opposing Dunsparce. Let's see. I'm not sure. I think this might knock out here, Lou, or otherwise one more rollout.
Yep, he should have thrown the lunge.
But
Oh.
it has the energy ready, and because
Yeah,
it was not the
he
charge
should have
attack,
thrown the
it's gonna
lunge.
be able to go with its full force. It doesn't get the knockout, however. EB's Dunsparce is able to go for some rollouts.
rolling.
Who's going to get the KO?
Oh my goodness, it's a
Simul KO.
Wow. I think that
Oh, baby.
Alejandro didn't go for
Oh भाई
that
lunge
Shadow
throw
Claw.
करना
On the
था.
other
Oh
hand,
dude.
Dunsparce, right? If you go for 3 Shadow Claw against 2 rollouts from a Dunsparce, another rollout sneaks through, and that gave EB the advantage, a little bit of advantage, maybe like a 1 HP advantage to win that battle there.
It was almost like a synchronized performance towards the end there, actually. The fact that they were completely in alignment, going down at the same time. What had done, I was about to say, Dunsparce kind of showdown towards the end there. Both players, however, I think made some really nice adjustments here. I think Alejandro making sure that the Diggersby
Is
time
this
didn't
round
really kind of sacrifice
will be
damage,
tied?
but
Yep.
was able to actually apply a lot of pressure to both the Ariados and the
Next
Malamar.
game will decide.
I really like the strategy from
Even next game, I think so. If Alejandro wins the next round, I think so. They will play one more game if I'm not wrong.
Alejandro doesn't really have an answer to Malamar. I would say that the Feraligatr is the best Pokemon, but Feraligatr behind energy.
Yeah, Alex,
is not
welcome
that
in.
rated to Malamar, and Alejandro was very hesitant swapping.
Yeah, Alex, who is going to
Malamar,
win
right?
here?
Swapping the Diggersby, which is not really a positive matchup there.
Yes, but the Diggersby as well, it took 2 foul plays first before the superpower.
Yeah,
And I
उसको
think that
lunge
it
throw
did
करना
give
चाहिए
him a
था.
bit more breathing
What
room.
has happened
So
since
Alejandro
now?
didn't go for the shields there, wasn't
A
really
lot
there.
of
And I think
interesting
you made a good
plays.
observation about how if the superpower had come through early, yes, you maybe get rid of a shield, but then you're debuffed on EB's side, and that can
We
leave
saw
you really vulnerable.
Pangoro.
So I think Alejandro was able to read that kind of board position really, really well in that game too.
had another win condition, right? And
We
the
saw
very
close
end
combat
went
from
for
Pangoro
Trailblaze into
on
the
Diggersby
Dunsparce.
as well as on,
Yes,
I think so,
They do about equal damage. It might be that Lunch
Dunsparce.
was a little bit more because of the same type of tech
There wasn't
bonus.
a lot of HP remaining, I don't think. Either would have got the KO.
He needed to have Alejandro's Dunsparce do less damage instead of just
Jonkers
own
won the
Alejandro
round.
doing more damage. Because then
Zweiles
Alejandro
also
may
won the
not
round.
opt out,
23 JB won against the Meweedle.
then may have won the battle. I think there were win conditions for both trainers there. It's just these small, precise gameplays.
Who is this
that
caster at the
may make
moment?
the
I think so. It's
difference here.
Inadequence
I
and
think that I would not be
I don't know the
surprised
other
if
one.
it's
I
strategy
forget the
here.
name.
Here we see it. Ariados lead into the Diggersby.
Oh
I
my
think
god,
this is
dude! He's not winning the lead!
Same team from EB, but looks like Alejandro
Ouch.
did adapt. He is sick of Ariados. Both
Wait, I think so.
Diggers
Ariados
and
wins in
Dunsparce
once.
on the field. But remember, Ariados can win the 2 shield here.
It can indeed.
But
it
then
looks like
what if he
Leandro
wins
is
in
really
2
going to
shields?
try and squish bugs here on the stream. We're going to see the damage come through into the shield. So already an early
Dude,
shield
Cresselia will be problem.
Interesting lunge here. Alejandro obviously not shielding, because if it was a Trailblaze, this is the Trailblaze that does the least amount of damage, so he's no shielding that. Interesting play. Now the Fire Punch will do less damage though, so he can't take that. This is a charge attack priority, which Ariados is always going to win. So this Trailblaze is going to buff the attack of the Ariados.
Okay, Trailblaze.
Yeah, now Alejandro
Interesting.
knows, not even into the red yet.
No, it does do a significant chunk, and I think the buff is going to be nice going forward, but you're going to be forced to go for a second shield here, and then the buff is kind of null and void.
I think so too. Are 2 Fire Punches going to knock out? I think they don't actually. This is kind of awkward for Alejandro, because the next one is reach on charge security again. Going for the lunge.
Oh, he
now.
should have thrown the
I like
Trailblaze
this time
here.
I do like the lunge.
He should have thrown the Trailblaze.
That's
Less damage.
true, actually. The debuff's going to come through and stop that.
Wait,
fight.
it's enough. Okay, my
Well,
bad.
actually stopping Diggersby in his tracks as it is KO'd. The Dunsparce comes through and the rollout's going to be able to farm up lots of energy as well as dealing some super effective damage.
Okay,
This
he will get the
is going
debuff
to be
here.
a booster
I think so. Now he
punch.
can come with the
Gonna do a
Malamar.
significant chunk on the Dunsparce.
And
Alejandro
again, it's a
still
Crest
not shielding.
versus the.
The shield for Cresselia. I wonder what he is expecting in the back. The Malamar is going to be difficult for the Cresselia because the Psycho Cut is triple resistant. In comes the Malamar. I think you have to throw a drill first to get it into that range. Looks like Alejandro is keeping that energy, perhaps because his Dunsparce was debuffed, and now going for the Moonblast. This is super effective, but it won't knock out the Malamar just yet.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to reset that drop and bring Dunsparce in
Okay.
later with a lot of HP.
Wait a
We're
minute.
going to see the Cresselia go
He's
for the
shielding.
Moonblast, of course, straight into a shield, but the Malamar is ready to retaliate with one of these powerful foul plays.
Exactly, foul play super effective. Alejandro finally putting up his first protect shield. There's still a Dunsparce from EB in the back, full HP as well, but where are you going to deploy the Dunsparce here? In comes the next foul play right before the next Moonblast. Very precise counting from EB here. Foul play again, shielded by Alejandro, and he's a really good shield because it's the attack that does the most damage.
Exactly, and making sure that as soon as that Moonblast came through, you're applying pressure with another foul play. Moonblast is going to come through into the unprotected Malamar here. Going to be able to do a
Ouch.
significant amount of
Go
damage.
for the snipe! Oh, he catches the drill run. EB predicted the swapping from Alejandro there. What a play!
Absolutely
Nice
masterful
catch.
coming through. Look how little
Okay.
damage that does into the opposing Dunsparce. All that energy wasted on Alejandro's side.
Exactly. Another drill run coming in. I think there's still play for
Nice
both
catch.
plays here. You need to get to a charge attack later on the Malamar, but also from Alejandro, he can gather energy here on this Dunsparce to get to another one on
Oh
the
my
Malamar
God.
later.
It's almost looking a little bit like the end game of that second match here. Both these Dunsparce just going for the rollouts, farming up some energy, and throwing down these charged attacks.
He will be in the
putting each
grass
other
knot
into a
range
very
now.
vulnerable position, and I don't believe there's any shields
I
left
think
in
so.
the match
Crest
at
is
all.
now farmed down.
Very good for Alejandro right now, but remember, 50-second switch clock. So I think after the next drill run from EB, the timer will be up. In fact, it is already up. Psycho Cut.
One. He
He
need 5 more.
To a grass knot before EB can get to a foul player. That's Alejandro's only win condition. But Malamar charges so quickly nowadays.
Let's see if Cresselia is going to be able to do it. A couple of
3.
this damage coming through, but Malamar's already primed with that foul play. Super effective damage into the vulnerable
Psycho Kid is
Cresselia.
double
Totally
resisted.
forgot, Lou, that it had so
Wait, it's
much
enough.
energy.
But it gets it so fast, right?
Wait, it's
So
enough.
fast.
What the heck?
EB wins the match
I-
by 2-0.
What a
good play from
catch.
both trainers there.
What a catch,
Wow,
dude.
that was some really top tier Ariados and Malamar gameplay.
What a
from-
catch.
Ariados is amazing. I never thought I would be saying that.
Oh,
but then again,
I-
I never thought I'd be saying Gastrodon is awesome too. But I really do like the way that the Ariados in this
भाई,
particular
मजा आ गया
situation
भाई.
applied so
What
much
a
pressure.
catch.
It did force Alejandro to kind of then counter it in that third match, really trying to use all of the Pokemon utility to get it off the field. But Ariados was not messing around. It was very hard to foul.
I think so too. Ariados in the lead just being so strong, being able to battle against every lead that Alejandro could throw at him, right? Only the Dunsparce was a threat, and if you then swap in the Malamar, Alejandro just didn't really have an answer. So a very high level read and strategy.
Nice catch
there.
with the Dunsparce. Yeah, it's obvious snipe. मतलब snipe करने का मतलब obvious था कि snipe आने वाला है.
Exactly, and I did like the foul play pressure that was going through that team actually. Yes, you kind of had the superpower as well for the Diggersby, but honestly that foul play applied a lot of pressure because it got charged up very, very fast. You could always throw 2 of those down, and then Diggerby's in a precarious spot. And obviously Cresselia doesn't want to take the dark type attacks either. So I think actually seeing the dark type Pokemon come forward with that Malamar was really nice to see.
And the superpower coverage, right? We see here the catch from Alejandro, which was not exactly an optimal catch, but hey, Diggersby takes the damage here. Dunsparce would have been knocked out. And then in the final moments of this game where Eevee decided to go for that lunge late, sorry, the throwaways later, just barely getting that knockout there. Yeah, and here, as we see the drill run, look at that, just barely hanging on, and we got into a tie in this matchup. That was crazy.
It's not something you see every day, right? An actual tie coming through and the players then having to continue on and almost reset a little bit. And I always think when you're in those situations as well,
Yo,
the
Polska, welcome in, bro.
of these trainers. Alejandro looked so strong, really reading into what Eevee was doing, but then by game 3, it was all Eevee in control of the match.
As we saw there with that swap, right? Just hard reading that Alejandro would swap right in and throw the drone with that Dunsparce, just reading him like a book, like a magazine. That's very high level play, and you know you have to make those predictions, right? And as the opponent, maybe sometimes you have to predict. Wait, my opponent is going to overthink this. I'm not going to do anything smart. I'm just staying in here. You may have noticed this in the GO Battle League as well when you're playing, right? Your opponent may overthink battles. Maybe it happened to you. It definitely happened to me sometimes, and it's kind of what we see here, right?
It's part of the learning journey though, because although we play Pokemon, you're not just playing against the Pokemon on the field, you're playing against the player as well. And sometimes getting the advantage in that kind of mind game is what will get you the
that's true.
victory at the end. Even
Sometimes
if
it's
your plays
mind
aren't
games.
optimal, if you're able to get into your opponent's head, particularly with high pressure maybe in a game 3, then you're able to gain momentum that way. And it takes a lot of experience and skill to do so, but we have seen it time and time before.
It was kind of easy to put up pressure there, right? Because the Ariados was so good into that team with the Trailblaze and the Lunge, and then the Malamar with superpower. It was so difficult for Alejandro to overcome.
Exactly. Of course, as well, these trainers, we've seen some veterans so far, and a lot of our veterans have been, previous competitors at the World Championships. So we're going to have a little bit of a break and leave you with some impressions of what Worlds is really like.
Shout out to all the ones who came before.
Okay.
You showed the way, you opened up the
What just happened?
door. Now we stand among legends and shout your names.
Okay, it's Empolini. What's his nickname? Okay, nickname is next, chat. मजा आने वाला है. In 3 minutes. I will be back in 3 minutes.
You showed them you were awesome, and you won the day, striving for the top spot. No room for mistakes, yeah. You showed us the way, you showed us how to train up, how to pass the test, how to make your mark, be the very best. And when the lights are up and the pressure's on, how to push and push till you're the only one. Making friends all along the way, memories always here to stay. And that's why we say, shout out to all the ones who came before. You showed the way,
trainers? We are here live in Dortmund for the first EU regional competition of this 2025 Play Pokemon series. I am Amanda, also known as Lundberger, here alongside...
Tight. You may also know me as Inadequate. Yeah, it's great to have you here again, Amanda. It's been a while since we cussed together.
And it has been. It's really good to see. I'm excited to see these matches that are coming up. We've had some really thrilling ones that have gone on so far today. A lot of players are really bringing their A game. They want to really make a name for themselves at this first competition.
Okay, we are back.
It's like they want to win it. We saw some previous champions already, such as Amy Weedle and 23 EJB, which 23 EJB won into that exciting matchup. Here we have our next matchup already, Amanda. This is going to be a good one as well. On the left, Ampolini. On the right side, Nickname. I believe Nickname is the 2022 Bremen champion. And he has the double Sire team as well that I talked about earlier. Out of
Okay, Clodsire, Quagsire. Interesting.
The Quagsire and the Clodsire, the two most goofy Pokemon.
Their ground typing is similar, but yes, and they're also their facial expressions pretty similar, but their charge attacks are very different as Clodsire takes a while to charge up energy. Meanwhile, Quagsire just continually
double Claude. Sorry, double
attacks. But on the
Quag and Claude.
We see a pretty standard team that has been sort of developing in this new meta. I say standard, but
Mandiverse, Malama,
events. But we see that Shadow Alligator
Toxapex,
and the Clodsire on Ampolini's side. The two core Pokemon that I think a lot of trainers are building around this season.
Exactly, double water. I think you can always do very well if you want to run meta, right? Just to play it safe. Talonflame looks very interesting in this matchup. Now, what I find interesting about Quagsire,
Mudshot is nerf.
it has Aqua Tail as the water type coverage charge tech, and with Mudshot generating less energy now, you get there slower. But the second charge attack that Nickname has is Stone Edge. Amanda, have you ever had a Stone Edge hit your Talonflame?
Yeah, well, then I started wondering where my talent went.
It's gone. Exactly. So Quagsire, one of the few Pokemon on Nickname's team that can check that Talonflame reliably. I actually do think that it has a really good play here. You gotta be careful of that Superior though, and also the Feraligators, Hydrocan just threatens it so hard. Nickname has some Pokemon that resist water, but Dugong doesn't do super well into Feraligator.
Why Quagsire in this season?
Let's
see. Moveset देखना पड़ेगा क्या moveset से. Alright, locked in हो गए. Okay. Neutral. Okay. Okay. Playable lead.
Not scared at all of the Toxapex, and it looks like it definitely has avoided the target at least so far.
ABA poison. Interesting.
Clodsire versus Azumarill. Clodsire running the Sludge Bomb, which seems to be the popular pick here in Dortmund.
Have we even seen Stone Edge so far?
I don't think we have.
I don't think so, no. Sludge Bomb being the charge attack of preference so far, just to cover Azumarill a little bit harder, and Azumarill just all over the place as well. This makes sure that Clodsire can break the core of Azumarill and Superior, and I think that's why most players opt for it that way. Azumarill has a pretty neutral matchup here, but generally Clodsire wins this because poison stings adding up, but also the Sludge Bomb is super effective.
Yeah, not only are those poison stings adding up to having the bait potential, not even a bait against an Azumarill actually with the Sludge Bomb, forcing that first shield off of Ampolini because he knows his Azumarill is going to go down. He's one away from an Ice Beam. He wants to see if he can at least get shield parity or get that Clodsire off the field. Nickname more than content to be able to shield this because he knows he will outpace to the next.
Well, the problem that Nickname has, he has the Toxapex in the back, and the main target for the Toxapex is Azumarill, so he probably knows Toxapex in the back is not going to be that great.
Toxapex is one of the bulky Pokemon as well. It looks like Nickname has gone for a lot of bulk in this lineup there.
Please don't come with Claude.
Out that Azumarill, and he does have some energy left on the Clodsire. He might be able to throw at whatever.
Please don't come with Claude, dude.
At least he'll
Thank
get
you.
to dictate that alignment a little bit. But you're absolutely right. A Dunsparce actually coming in. Gonna have to take this Sludge Bomb. There's only one shield remaining. Ampolini wants to keep that a little bit.
I think so. Now he will come with the
Sludge Bomb on the Dunsparce, and we're gonna
Quag.
see a decent amount of energy. And the problem is he's got to throw a charge attack. His rollouts aren't gonna do anything.
He's got to roll a long way if he wants to farm it all the way down. Looks like finally has to throw a charge attack. Nickname letting it go, content with switch advantage and the damage he dealt into the Dunsparce.
Now he will come with Quag.
Nickname's going to bring in here. If he's predicting Clodsire in the back, he might bring the Toxapex here. If he's not predicting that, he brings in the Quagsire. Let's see.
Yeah, very smart.
Toxapex. I think Nickname knows it might be Clodsire in the back.
Yeah, the fact of the matter is Drill Run is super
Yeah, that's why he's using Quagsire to hunt all the Clodsire and the poison types. Yep. Nice call. I think so he wins now, Nickname.
Meanwhile, just gonna go ahead, get a lot of energy, forcing that swap on Ampolini's side to the Clodsire, now met by the Quagsire. We talked about the spam. Here it comes. Aquatail already ready, but Sludge Bomb is going to be thrown just at the same time. Wow, still going to charge
Yep,
attack
it's over.
parity, even though they both threw at a little bit off counts.
Yeah, going for the Sludge Bomb bait. I think Earthquake won't threaten this just as yet, so I'm not sure if Nickname is going to shield this. I mean, I love this. It's the goofy Pokemon battle, and it looks like he is no-shielding the Sludge Bomb. This is resisted.
It's going ahead, taking it to the chin, basically, still in the green, just continuing to charge up energy one more time. Ampolini going for yet another one, but I think if Nickname's counting, he recognizes he's still not at that heavier hitting attack. Content to let this one go as well.
Oh my god.
Quagsire is just hanging on, throwing the mud shots now, going to swing it still into the Clodsire. Is Ampolini going to shield this? Nickname has another one stored though, so it's kind of rough. And no, he lets the Clodsire go. It's all in the hands of the Dunsparce now, but Dunsparce doesn't do super great here as well. And he's going for the hard-hitting Stone Edge, going to try and knock out this Dunsparce. But no, Ampolini refuses to let it go. Going to shield it up.
Even though Rollout did get a buff, it doesn't do much against these ground-type Pokemon. And a
it's
combination
over.
play by Nickname, our Bramian champion here.
Yeah,
to be
Nickname
able
wins
to
this
release
easily.
these
Ho
Dunsparce.
gaya.
So I think it might be enough to knock it out and secure him game number 1.
Wow, the Sludge Wave goes all over the Dunsparce, knocks it out. Nickname taking the first game against Ampolini.
Inadequacy.
Amanda, I want to point something out about this matchup that I didn't do before, by the way. In the previous match, we had Alejandro versus Ibi, and that was a player from Italy versus a player from Poland. Here we have Ampolini on the left, a player from Italy, also a player from Poland. So this is very interesting, right?
So it's
Let's
Italy
see if
versus Poland.
Ampolini can avenge Alejandro here, but looks like that's going to be a tough task because Nickname, he's in the lead right now, and that Quagsire just put in so much work, right? And I just want to talk about the call as well that he made. He brought Toxapex into Dunsparce, even though Toxapex generally doesn't have a great matchup there.
Especially when Dunsparce has some energy, right?
Exactly, right? He was expecting the Clodsire in the back, brought the Toxapex in. Because he saw the Azumarill lead, there had to be hard Toxapex onto in the back. Otherwise, you can never come back from that as Ampolini.
Now, you were talking about some fun facts between Italy and Poland. I also heard a fun fact that Nickname said himself to Ampolini backstage. He said his in-game name was actually the standard name that was given to him when he first opened up the game, and he meant to change it at one point, but he never did. And then he just became well known within the circuit because he's been around PvP since almost the very beginning, the conception of it. And so now he's just content to keep his name as Nickname 29585.
That's a great nickname. Yeah, that's how we know him now. So can't go back now. How are these players going to adapt here? I think it's Ampolini. You kind of want to answer that Clodsire a little bit better because the Clodsire from Nickname just put in such a dent into the team of Ampolini, right? It was so good into the Azumarill, and then the Dunsparce kind of struggled to take it out. In fact, when the Azumarill was gone from Ampolini, there was no fast attack pressure to take down the opposing Clodsire because Poison Sting from Clodsire is also resisted on opposing Clodsire.
Yeah, I think that even though that Dunsparce did a lot of work, it was kind of risky on Ampolini's side to come into that Clodsire after the Azumarill was taken out. We're game number 1. We're about to see a really bad matchup for that Toxapex.
Good lead
was hoping for the
for the Ampolini.
Didn't get it. Clodsire in and a forced swap out into the Dugong.
Oh, this is so rough for Nickname. One of the very few actual hard counts to that Dugong because Superior.
Yeah, well played. He bait out the
but this one is
Dunsparce now.
Dunsparce, even though, so this is what's really interesting about Dunsparce, right? Rollout has been buffed significantly, but Rockslide has been nerfed. It still makes it a very good matchup for the Dunsparce here, despite getting debuffed by the Icy Winds.
Yeah, Icy Wind was guaranteeing to debuff every single time, so even though that is super effective, you can see that the Nickname choosing not to even shield that up, but another one is already coming through, and Nickname
Wait,
has
is he going to shield this?
Use the shields. Does he want to try to win this mid-game matchup?
Okay.
We have to also remember, they have a 50-second timer now, so as you can see, if you're looking on the side of Nickname, it's almost already up. Maybe we're going to see some fast swapping out to see if he can preserve this Dugong for later, or if he's content to let it go. He's double debuffed this Dunsparce.
He can
it's
catch.
Be a race.
Can he get the farm? Can he get the farm with the rollout? He needs one more Icy Wind, and no, he gets out.
Well played.
So much energy.
So now he can throw the drill run.
You gotta come in with the Toxapex, but the Toxapex doesn't even get that much energy here. This is so rough for Nickname.
Yeah, coming in with the Toxapex, we saw earlier the drill run did not do that much, and this one is double debuffed as well. So it's just tickling the Toxapex. In comes the Clodsire. You can see Nickname desperately clicking here, but it does put him at a little bit of a disadvantage. This Clodsire does have energy already coming into the Superior, however. This is not over.
This is kind of interesting, right? The Superior doesn't really have a lot to play place to go. There's 2 poison type Pokemon here, but I guess Ampolini is like, well, I guess
Let's
I have
just
to
check
place
this.
my Pokemon somewhere, so I guess this is where I'll put the Superior, letting this go. I like this call from Nickname simply because the Earthquake would do way more damage than the Frenzy Plant.
Yeah, I think they're playing a little bit of a good cop, bad cop here right now, saying, okay, Superior's just gonna go in, try to get as much energy as possible off, trying to get off as much damage to this Clodsire, and meanwhile the Clodsire in the back on Ampolini's side is really going to start making effects. Not only does he have 2 shields for it,
Okay, he has
got
a lot
some
of energy.
he's got full health, and he's about
He's
to see
baiting.
if he will take
Is he
the
going to
bait
call the
here.
bait?
This is a baiting sludge bomb. 2 shields left remaining. Barely.
Oh, baby!
No! Oh, this is devastating for Nickname. That did no damage and gets in the Earthquake though. He's going for salvation.
He's trying everything in the book here. There's still energy left on the Clodsire, and Nickname has 2 shields remaining on 2 very bulky Pokemon. He has got 1 shield on his side. He's not going to use it on the Toxapex, I don't think, at this moment. He's hoping he's going to be able to get to an attack. He's not there.
Going for the Earthquake. This will knock out. Looks like I don't know if you saw when
I
Nickname
saw
was
it, I saw
stepping.
He was stepping Sludge Bomb.
Sludge Wave going into the Clodsire chat. Don't ever do this. It's just
भाई sludge wave throw कर रहा है भाई.
here comes a Sludge Wave. And it does
Blah, blah, blah.
Clodsire.
भाई हंस रहा है भाई.
Smile on the face of Ampolini as he recognizes that this game is pretty much done and dusted in his favor, saying, oh, you're gonna give me
Alright, we will have the
a
decisive
well,
game.
here's one right back at
भाई
you.
मजा आ गया भाई.
It is more energy efficient, but as you can see,
It
not
still
able to
is.
knock out.
It goes for another one.
There's 2 trainers getting the first shield. You gotta use it at some point here. Sludge Bomb coming through, a bait attack, getting that first shield off of Ampolini's side, almost up to an Earthquake on his side here. Gonna go ahead and throw it. I think this is end game, Martine.
Finally getting a poison type attack shielded on the Clodsire. That is a big win for Nickname, but he did win the battle. So back to the drawing board. Ampolini ties up the score to 1-1.
As a reminder to people, we are on the winner side of the bracket, and this tournament has not just started. So though these trainers have maybe had a little bit of fun in that last round, this next one is really for all the marbles here, because this is a best of 3. Winner of the next round will go on to winners round 5, which is the semifinals.
That will be a very good place to be. I mean, I want to point out how that match actually went, because Nickname safe swapped the Dougal, and it was answered relatively late by the Dunsparce from Ampolini. And while Dunsparce does have a positive matchup there, Dougal can actually flip the 1 and the 2 shield if it starts shooting the first attacks. But the problem for Nickname was, there was his own answer to Clodsire was his own Clodsire.
Right.
So he couldn't really use shields, because if Ampolini's Clodsire had a shield advantage, it just wins the match. And that kind of changed the dynamic of the team. I think Nickname probably knows he can win the switch advantage there, but he just wasn't in the position to afford to use shields there.
Right, sometimes you have to decide, do I want to go for that switch advantage? Do I want to go for a shield advantage? Sometimes people even opt for neither, but going for an energy advantage. It's all up for play, and as you saw in this, though there was some fun attacks that were being thrown at each other, we did get to see that 50-second switch timer in action so many times, because as the 2 trainers kept moving around, they had energy stored on all their different Pokemon, were able to throw many charge attacks throughout that series.
And I just want to point one more time for everyone watching from home, do not throw poison type attacks into Clodsire. They are double resisted. Only do it if you're baiting, but they need to be successful. We also saw a failed bait there, unfortunately, from Nickname. I'm not sure if it was necessary, but he was behind the shield, right? So it was kind of difficult already in that place, and just a call by Ampolini.
But what a call by Ampolini, right?
Exactly.
You have 2 shields, and I think at that point you're thinking, okay, even if it's a bait, it's safer to shield this in case it's not. I don't want to be put in a bad position, but recognizing that and just taking that courage to not press the shield button really put him in the driver's seat.
Exactly. I think we saw something like 3 poison type charge attacks on the Clodsire, by the way. Here we go. This is a very positive lead for Nickname. Malamar into Dunsparce from Ampolini. Now this is kind of rough for Ampolini. He can't really swap out because Clodsire generally does have a great matchup here. I think you may be able to win the 1 shield or get close to it at least. But here, going for the foul play on Charge Tech Purity. I think Ampolini might be happy with the Charge Tech Purity. Oh, he no-shields this. That's pretty smart, because Superpower wouldn't knock out just yet.
Not knock out, and it would also lower.
Yeah,
the
if he
chances
win
of
the
that
switch, he
Malamar
wins the
as
game.
Well, but unfortunately for him, it was that foul play bait Going for
Yeah,
that drone
Nickname is
removal
going to
not
win.
as
He
much
will go
damage
for the
because of that,
switch. I
and
think
Malamar
so.
does win charge attack priority. It's at an attack here. Going for yet another. I mean, at this range, it would be enough. And
Yeah,
now
oh
Amplini is
man,
forced
I
to
think so.
shield because he
Nickname
has
wins.
a lot of energy on that Dunsparce and doesn't want to let it go to waste.
Interesting, because I think if you threw the drill versus Amplini, you may have been in charge of the decision tree that Nickname would have to take, right? He would be the one forced to use a shield first. Looks like Nickname is putting up the shield anyway, probably trying to go for switch advantage here. He doesn't want... Oh man, if we look at the backlines, by the way, it's the goofy.
He lose CMP.
If you look at the backline from Amplini, yeah, you kind of want switch advantage. Either
Yep, it's over.
like
Nickname wins
the
this.
first one to let it go.
Nickname win this, dude.
The Malamar will be debuffed.
It's over.
He at least gets to dictate what is coming into this matchup, and you have to see Amplini kind of wondering himself. He knows that maybe there's a potential of
Yep,
a
it's over.
Quagsire, and he wants to kind of trap it, but he's revealed that it's gonna be that superior, and now the
Yeah, Nickname
Quagsire
जीत
just
गया भाई,
completely
खत्म.
avoid it.
That's exactly what Quagsire wants. Now, one more interesting thing about this, by the way, Superpower and Foul Play, when both are neutral, deal the exact same damage. Superpower is generally more efficient, but Foul Play has the same type of tech bonus. Anyway, here we go.
When it's that low, I guess a Nickname just going for a nice amount of damage before going down and not allowing too much farm for that superior. Going ahead, swapping out now into his own Quagsire, met by the all smiles here on the field from the Quagsire as it first releases its Aqua Tail.
GG's.
Guys, I want to know from you, who's your favorite Pokemon on the battlefield here? Is the Derpy Clodsire or the Derpy Quagsire? They're both... it looks like it tickles, but I think that kind of hurt the Clodsire.
Definitely did, and one of my favorite things about both of these Pokemon is their expressions when they let off their attack. And that does a decent chunk of damage to the Quagsire. Quagsire already at another Aqua Tail. Gonna go ahead, I love this play, right at charge attack priority, knowing that he's forcing Amplini to make a decision. Do I want to throw my attack or let the Clodsire go? Clodsire goes down, and Superior comes in, has a great matchup against the Quagsire, but an Aqua Tail is ready!
Yeah, this does do a lot of damage. I think as Amplini, you cannot afford to shield, but do you have the time and an energy to get to as many frenzy plants as you can into the opposing Clodsire from Nickname? This is getting really close. Even the poison sting damage is going to add up. I don't think that this Clodsire is in frenzy plant range. That's about 40%.
Yeah, at this point, even though the Aqua Tail did not do that much, it was enough to put that Superior down into the red, and now with the Poison Sting buff, I think we might see an aggressive farm down at this point. Next one coming through here, no Protect Shields remaining, but it's not going to be enough to knock out the Clodsire. Clodsire has so much energy, but I think he's just going to go for a full farm down.
Win switch, win game. Yep.
No, he doesn't.
GG's.
Well, looks like Nickname wins the matchup by 2-1. What a great play from Nickname there, except in game 2 where he threw poison type attacks into the Clodsire. As a joke. He knew he had lost at that point.
I think so. He was just going for that X. But the funniest part of that was that he shielded so he could get the energy to be able to throw the Sludge Wave, recognizing the position that he was in. But even still, the position that he is in right now is sitting pretty still on the winner's side of the bracket. Nickname again was our Bremen regional champion a couple seasons ago. He is a well-known competitor and well on his way here in Dortmund.
He knows when to have fun and when to be serious, right? He was serious in that decisive game number 3 and won that game quite convincingly. Winning the lead there with the Malamar and then making sure that the Quagsire is not on the Superior. That's one Pokemon that Quagsire really doesn't want to see, a Grass-type Pokemon.
Absolutely, and I have to wonder, he is friends and teammates with Out of Pocket, who is a really good player in the US, ended up being in the top finals, who also ran a Quagsire team, so potentially, maybe they had some team building, some discussions about it. Is Quagsire going to be back in the meta? Because it sure looks like it here, as you see that Aqua Tail going through, and now this combination play securing that game number 1 for Nickname.
Yeah, Sludge Wave, such an efficient attack from Nickname, going for the combo play here, taking out the Dunsparce from Amplini, where he made the prediction that there would be Clodsire in the back and had the perfect alignment there.
Yo guys, Quagsire का play हो सकता है.
Perfect farm down.
I like the nicknames.
And then going for the Sludge Bomb call here. Amplini making a great call, and at that point, Nickname kind of knew that it was over there. Catching the Earthquake,
Machar is nerf, but बहुत सारे poison types है.
After this, I think he shielded the Toxapex to go for the Sludge Wave on the opposing Clodsire.
I think that's exactly what happened. They was not able to take game number 2. Amplini snatching it away from him, but this end game just proved too much for that Superior to overcome, being able to poison Sting down. Nickname taking that series and staying on the winner's side of the bracket.
Clodsire has adapted so much in this new meta. In the previous meta, it used to run Mudshot as the the ground type fast attack, sorry, and then Stone Edge and Earthquake as coverage. There was no Chestnut really to wall it, right? And now it has become a viable poison type attacker with that poison sting. And another Pokemon that really does that well is Drapion, except that Drapion doesn't really need Sludge Bomb, while Clodsire kind of does if it wants to do better into Superior and Azumarill.
I think that the Drapion was something that it was on my caster predictions of a Pokemon that we were going to see quite often. I was really impressed with it when I first was watching the Championship Series. But I haven't actually seen as much of it so far, but what I have seen so much of is that Sludge Bomb on Clodsire. I was not expecting it. I even think I said at the beginning of the broadcast that most players are tending to lean towards Stone Edge, but it doesn't appear that is a case at all here in Dortmund. All the Clodsires are running Sludge Bomb.
Who's Talonflame? Right?
Yeah, exactly.
They don't need to cover that.
They're not fearing.
भाई कौन है Talonflame कौन है भाई?
They're just opting to go for the Azumarill instead, and to be honest, they're finding their targets.
Right, the Azumarill is super common. Mandibuzz a little bit less common, right? So you don't need stones as much, and even with Sludge Bomb, you still have really good play. So I guess that's kind of where the choice shifted to, because I believe in Baltimore we saw slightly more Stone Edge than Sludge Bomb.
I believe so.
Yeah, as far as I can remember. And now it's like only Sludge Bomb. It's like the European players have united and discussed. Yeah, no one's running Stone Edge, guys. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. Or disqualified. No, they don't get disqualified.
We've come to a consensus here. It is Sludge Bomb all the way. It looks like it has been stamped and approved for sure in Dortmund so far.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's anyone here that is running Stone Edge, let us know, because I mean, they're kicked off the committee, I guess.
I think it might also be a thing that's more for the GO Battle League nowadays, where your movesets are closed, right? And by that I mean your opponent doesn't know or see them. Here at the championships, you actually have team sheets that you exchange on which the Pokemon team and the movesets are shown. So you always know that your opponent is running Sludge Bomb. But in the GO Battle League, yeah, you might want to shield that Talonflame, of course.
Anything goes, right? That was old season as well. I remember Status Stan using a Mew, and a lot of times people, Jonkus, who's also here, was using a Mew, and he was running a very interesting attacks of Flame Charge and Wild Charge, but it was not expected, right? I mean, this was not what people would typically run. Mew can learn basically everything, so if it's open team sheets, it's just a different style of play.
Exactly. That's what's really difference between the GO Battle League and the Show 6 meta. But it has been great to see all of this, though, especially that switch clock coming up. It really opens up the play where you like just want to stay in for alignment and your opponent is stuck in the matchup and has to get farmed down. And now with the 10 seconds less, your opponent might be able to switch out faster, or you might be able to switch out faster of a bad matchup, gather energy elsewhere, and that's what we've been seeing all over the place. But in this matchup, I felt like it was a little bit like we had before, right? You really want to stay in the matchup and make sure that your Quagsire is not on the superior.
I mean, that's the harder part. If there's something that so hard punishes your Pokemon, even though the timer has been reduced by 10 seconds, you still maybe don't want to take that risk and get caught into such a bad matchup that you have no coming back from. And I think that was maybe the reason why they didn't have such dynamic play in that particular matchup. We're going to hop right into the next battle here. We're still in
Kazim versus Wolfpack. Let's go.
Yo,
are you still here, Alex?
Kazim, and are you looking? There is that Galarian Moltres on Kazim's
Galarian Moltres time, baby.
Moltres, that is an interesting pick, and I think it actually looks kind of decent into Wolfpack's team. We see a Gastrodon. Lou, where are you?
Shadow Dragonite.
Lou, but there's a Gastrodon. She would love to see it. It's going to be tough to use into the Galarian Moltres, though, and the Superior, which are two very hard answers. But into the Dugong, the Feraligatr, the Dunsparce, and especially the Clodsire, Gastrodon would have a lot of play here.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of play. There's some interesting team compositions by both of these trainers, not things that we have seen actually so much coming on. Kazim here is a well-known player. He was a Worlds qualifier, and I'm very interested to see how he will be able to pilot the Galarian Moltres. As a reminder, this is the first season that this Pokemon is eligible to be played. Last season, Carbink was just being allowed, and we didn't actually see as much Carbink play as I thought we were going to.
Carbink to bhai khatam. Carbink is dead now.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Now I want to point something else out here, Amanda. We saw the teams earlier. Both have Clodsire. Guess which charge deck they're both running?
Well, are you going to prove me wrong? And now, are they both running Stone Edge?
Yes! No, they're not. They're not. They're running
Okay, of course.
Got her!
They are.
Got her! Yeah, Stone Edge actually might prove pretty useful for the Galarian Moltres of Kazim, right? So, yeah, I don't know. And also into the Dugong. Dugong actually loses the 0 and the 1 shields to Clodsire if it has Stone Edge. But without Stone Edge, the Dugong is a formidable answer to Clodsire, so we might see some of that come out from Kazim here.
Yeah, looks like both of these trainers are figuring out the phones a little bit here. They know that they need the phones to battle, but not quite sure
Yeah.
which phone belongs to which trainer. Both of these trainers are very, very good. Again, reminder, winner side of the bracket, round 4, and both of these trainers obviously want to go on the winner side of the bracket. Looking at the team compositions, is there anything that's standing out? I'm really liking this Shadow Dragonite.
The Dragonite is okay. I think you really fear the Dugong here.
Of course, right?
You don't have Stone Edge on Clodsire, so that's already one weak Pokemon there. The Alolan Sandslash from Wolfpack has Power Snow as the fast attack, so it doesn't do as well into the Dugong either. I believe Cresselia is not as great in the 2 shields. I mean, Cresselia generally is decent, but Dugong can make it annoying by debuffing. Azumarill so-so, Gastrodon neutral, Dragonite is... You don't want Dragonite on Dugong, let's not do that. So I think Dugong is kind of tricky to bring. Dragonite's tricky to bring because Dugong is always coming out.
Yeah, I
so.
think Dugong is definitely going to be one of the Pokemon for Kazim, especially because Dugongs are running Icy Wind, so it's going to debuff their opponent no matter what. So even if Kazim chose to use it like Nickname did in that safe spot position, even if he doesn't win that alignment that he's looking for, he's going to be able to at least punish the Pokemon and lower their attack.
I think so too. Alolan Sandslash is an interesting pick. Wadash also had it on his winning team from Baltimore. So I'm curious to see if we're gonna see that coming out. Wolfpack might bring it if he's expecting the Galarian Moltres, the Clodsire.
Okay, let's see. Galarian
These are two
Moltres
trainers.
Gaming.
I think Wolfpack got to top 4 in Liu 2023, and ever since he hasn't gotten to many top cuts yet. And Kazim, save for Kazim, yeah, I don't think he has a medal to his name just yet, but he is known in the community to be an extremely good player. So I have high expectations from both players, and we're gonna get a very high quality battle here as well.
Yeah, I know that Kazim in the past has really been popularizing Whimsicott. I was kind of expecting to see it on his team, but
I would
no.
not do it in the Clodsire meta.
No Whimsicott in a Clodsire meta. One thing I also want to point out about the Clodsire and the fact that Wolfpack is running a regular Alolan Sandslash rather than a Shadow Alolan Sandslash, and that is because it has a little bit more bulk to it, and it is able to comfortably tank an Earthquake from a Clodsire, which a Shadow Alolan Sandslash would not be able to do.
Right, so if you are an Alolan Sandslash fan, a mind joke, listen, you might want to run that non-Shadow on. Here we go, Wolfpack on the left, Kazim on the right. We have the Galarian Moltres into the Shadow Dragonite.
Oh baby, let's go.
Dugong at all.
King.
In the lead here. We're taken to the skies for round number 1. But I mean, we've seen this before. Galarian Moltres pace is quite quick, not as quick as the Dragonite's going to get there. And if Wolfpack's counting, actually swapping out into an Azumarill and met by a Feraligatr, which is not the hardest of counters, to be honest.
I think this is
bait out
exactly what
Locator.
Wolfpack wants, right? He doesn't want his Alolan Sandslash on this Feraligatr, so that might be pretty good for Wolfpack at this point.
Yep.
Did you see, Dragonite is known for high fast attack pressure, but that Galarian Moltres, almost said Yveltal, the Galarian Moltres with such a hit so hard. We saw a shield there from Kazim. He really wants to push for switch advantage, but the thing is, if you get shields down as Wolfpack, that Dragonite can hit anything hard. It has superpower for Dugong as well.
Yeah, that is the problem. I mean, we've seen this a little bit earlier as
Hi,
well.
Dragonite.
Cannons aren't going to be that effective. The Shadow Claws add up, and the pacing of Azumarill is just so much slower than the Feraligatr.
Wait, is he going to farm down the Azu now?
Instead of going for that.
Can he farm down?
Here, looks like Kazim is comfortable to let this go down, putting it desperately into the red, but he's going to have to throw it again. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it. He's got 2 Hydro Cannons.
Oh my god.
Come out with it, but we didn't even throw it.
One Dragonite, one Dragon Breath might knock it out. And oh no! The Feraligatr goes down. All that energy is gone.
All that energy wasted. And will be able
Dragonite.
to line up the Dugong. But
Go Battle League.
on this Dragonite, and look how much energy coming in instead. Actually, with the Galarian Moltres forcing the shield off of Wolfpack because he recognizes that this would be enough to knock him out
Kazim
of the
is in
skies.
trouble.
And I think we might try to see a combination play, but ready.
Maybe not.
Going to be able to throw this. The Kazim is comfortable to let this go down, but this is going to do so much damage to the Galarian Moltres. And now a quick swap out by both trainers.
The simultaneous switch there, and I know Shadow Alolan Sandslash loses this. I actually have no idea about The non-shadow, chat, we're learning here today. Come join us for learning. I don't know who wins this. We're about to find out today.
Education, it's not going to be hitting as hard because the shadow damage is 20% more, but it is going to be able to comfortably tank things a little bit better. We do know if it can take an earthquake, it definitely can take at least one drill run, but Wolfpack recognizes that this is going to be a race. He wants to be able to keep this Alolan Sandslash as healthy as possible, already at a drill run of his own, and one Protect Shield left on Kazim's side. Comfortable to let this one go.
I don't know if he should be comfortable with that because there's still the Dragonite. Even though it takes super effective, double super effective damage from the Ice Shards, it might still be able to get to a Dragon Claw, I think, honestly.
No Protect Shields remaining. When we're talking about learning, let's all find out together as this drill run connects with the Alolan Sandslash, just knocks it down to the yellow, and now the Alolan Sandslash is still ahead on energy.
Oh!
Catching the ground type attack onto the flying type Pokemon, giving an advantage to Kazim here at this point.
The full undercharge, getting one more Power Snow. That might be the only thing Wolfpack can do here. This is gonna get so close. He's getting to the Ice Punch. This is double resistant. Dugong would hang on, but I think he can get Dragon Breath down, putting out the Protect Shield. What are you gonna do now? I don't think you can Ice Shard down this Alolan Sandslash. You have to throw into the Dragonite as well.
Yeah, the problem is...
Wait, can you Ice Shard down?
Maybe he's thinking he's going to. Throwing this now, going for the Ice with no Protect Shields remaining. The Dragonite will fall from the skies. This is still a race. The Alolan Sandslash...
Dude, what a catch, man.
Will he be able to get to an attack? Will the Dugong get there first? Will the Ice Shard damage be enough?
Oh, it knocks out, and Kazim wins the first battle. What an incredible
dude, what a catch
by Kazim, showcasing incredible gameplay. Man, at some point Kazim was just looking at the crowd like, what's going on? I'm like, look at your screen, man. Look at the plays you make. Those were insane. And you know how he did it, Amanda? Some players try to time their catch perfectly with the fast attack duration of the opponent.
Sure.
So, what Kazim did here, he waited one turn before throwing his fast attack. Most players do one fast attack and then wait a turn. But he did the opposite. And Wolfpack fell for it. Catching the Duron on the Galarian Moltres. What a phenomenal play from Kazim there.
That matchup was truly like a rubber band, right? At some points you thought that it was heavily favoring Wolfpack, and at other points it seemed to stretch in the opposite direction where Kazim was pulling and controlling the game. I think a big turning point that maybe for a player that had less, well, not knowledge, but less experience than Kazim, maybe would have been very discouraged is when his Feraligatr went down with 2 Hydro Cannons loaded.
Right.
But he was able to come back from that, claw his way back up, and snatch victory basically from the jaws of defeat. Dugong really MVP for Kazim in that game number 1.
That was such a crucial point as well, right? Kazim looked so bad in that spot there where he lost about 80 energy, I think. He lost 2 Hydro Cannon. And it was so tough for him to come back, but he did it. He did it.
He
right?
did it. He took game number 1, and that was such a close matchup and a really fun one to watch. I think the big problem is no one knows, right? You said it yourself, a quite experienced player. Not sure how much damage this is going to do to the Alolan Sandslash. We don't know if the Ice Shards would be enough or if he had to throw an attack, but I think Wolfpack got a little desperate at the end, realizing, oh no, he can Ice Shard down. I have to try to do something.
Double resisted, right? I think Dugong would have won the even shields there, but it just was difficult with that Dragonite still lurking around, because I think despite the double super effective Ice Shards, it still had a little bit of leftover energy and some HP to get to a Dragon Claw, so that catch was absolutely crucial. Kazim, it was not easy to use a shield there.
No, and I think that both of those trainers really played very, very well. I think that Wolfpack being able to negate that energy with that Dragon Breath damage was a lot, but Kazim at the end, like you talked about, instead of waiting a turn after throwing a fast attack, doing it one before, just completely flipped that game on its head. We're
Oh my god.
game number 2, and it looks like Dugong has found its target in the Shadow Dragonite. We're going to see a quick swap
Go to
off
Chris.
by Wolfpack here. It looks like going for 1 Dragon Breath and now going into the Azumarill.
Trying to be as efficient as possible with that Dragonite. He knows he loses a turn anyway, being answered by the Feraligatr, but with energy up, I think Azumarill might be able to... It definitely takes a 0 shield. I'm not sure about the 1 shield. Kazim shaking his head a little bit. Is this the correct play? That the Azumarill's looking difficult, right? He has the Galarian Moltres in the back, so you can't really answer that either there.
Yeah, there is energy on the Feraligatr, but the Hydro Cannons, a water type attack into a water and fairy type Pokemon is not really ideal. I can end up taking it if there is some sort of an energy advantage, but at this point the Azumarill is looking pretty good, already at another attack at the same time. Wolfpack going for yet another bubble before throwing his own.
I think so. Now just he need to throw the Ice Beams.
Because we see the Galarian Moltres and
Dude, throw the Ice Beam. Ice Beam was enough.
Layer off, I think the Ice Beam would have also knocked out, but Wolfpack just making sure he has no more Feraligatr on the screen. Letting it go! Kazim lets switch advantage go! Is that going to be a turning point in the game?
Or is he just trying to get a ton of damage here? Not damage, as you can see, these ice shards are going to be doing damage, but a lot of energy here and going to farm him down at this point. Throwing
Nice counting.
right before the play rough is loaded and ready, maybe knocking out this Azumarill, but at least lowering
No, he
its
can
attack.
come with
This
Cress
isn't
here.
going to be enough. Azumarill falls, and now Kazim has kind of lost that switch advantage and also that Dragonite onto the Dugong that he was hoping for.
I don't like this at all for Kazim. Oh my goodness! He does it again, chat! He does it again! He catches a Grass Knot! This could have been a super effective Moonblast!
And what a risk not even bothering to shield, but recognizing, yes, I managed to do it once, I'm going to do it again. Look how much damage this Dragonite is taking, but he's going to go ahead and throw this Dragon Claw right beforehand. There's still 2 shields left remaining, but the Dugong did so much work game number 1, and Kazim is content to be able to take that, now throw. The problem here is like the Dragonite without any energy left isn't really want to be against the Dugong. He lets it go!
Yeah, in comes the Cresselia. 1 Psycho cut down. You don't see it a lot, the double resistance Psycho taking down Galarian Rolls, but there's so much energy. Amanda, you don't see this every day, but I think Dugong might be able to take this. It's going to debuff this Cresselia into the ground.
Yeah, the big problem for Cresselia is there's no Pokemon to swap out to at this point to clear this debuff. It's the only one, even though there's 2 shields remaining. It is now double debuff, and guess what? Kazim's got shields as well. I think at this point he's comfortable to shield this up, just continue to debuff, and let's see how this one goes.
Yeah, we're gonna see a lot of Grass Knot blocking the putting the protective shield for the first Grass Knot coming through, and that makes sense because it will do more damage. And I think you might as well shield this one too, because you're gonna get more debuffs in as Icy Wind here. This is where Icy Wind's really handy for Dugong.
Yeah, debuff machine.
All the way,
What
and
a catch.
the same type of attack bonus on it as well. You know, Dugong has Icy Wind and Duron. You know which other charge set it also has, but it's rarely used? It's Liquidation. You know, we sometimes forget Dugong is also a water type Pokemon.
That's right, it's not something that is typically ever used at this point. Definitely not in the play Pokemon circuit. A Grass Knot is ready, but it is triple debuffed at this point. No Protect Shields remaining. Education purposes, let's see how much damage is...
Nothing!
Nothing. Still super effective. No Protect Shields going for that heavier hitting drill run, and I think this is maybe close to good games here for Wolfpack.
Yeah, Duron not the same type of attack bonus, but does a little bit more damage. No, Cresselia not going down just yet. Not being able to get to the next Grass Knot. And Kazim takes his matchup by 2-0.
2-0s with some fantastic catches in game 1 and game number 2 to secure that victory for him. Kazim shaking his head, all smiles as he's managing to go on the winner's side of the bracket. As a reminder, Wolfpack will be knocked down to the
nice
loser side of the
catch.
bracket. His run is not over yet. We may have potential to see gameplay from him later on today, or perhaps even tomorrow if he makes it into day 2.
I would like to see that. Wolfpack is a pretty good player, and so is Kazim. Kazim is moving on to the next round.
Kazim has been playing out of his mind with a lot of really good catches. Also, the Galarian Moltres, we saw it a couple times in Baltimore. I'm hoping we see more of it in Dortmund as well, especially in the hands of a trainer as well kept as Kazim.
Exactly. Do you have a Galarian Moltres?
So, I have 2 Galarian Moltres that are below 1500 CP. Mine actually powers up to 1499.
Wow.
I just haven't I haven't done it yet.
Are you ever going to compete with him?
We'll see, guys.
Let's take a look at the highlights of the matchup that we had earlier between Kazim and Wolfpack. The Feraligatr, many players always using the shields of Feraligatr. Kazim doesn't, and in comes the Dragonite here. 1 Dragon Breath takes it out. Kazim not being able to preserve all that energy, and it looks so dire for him. And here being able to catch that Duron at the very end. He needed to make this catch because the Alolan Sanchez would get to another attack, plus the Dragonite may have been also able to. So that was super necessary to win, to clutch up that game number 1.
Yeah, not only that, he was able to get some extra damage in, but that was the point where the tides really turned in favor of Kazim. Game number 2, the Dugong found the Dragonite in the lead, was able to take it out in the end game here, but this is still in the game number 1. Dugong just did so much work for Kazim in this series. Catching, we talked about it a couple times, that Grass Knot onto the Moltres.
That could have been a Moonblast as well, which would do a significant chunk on the Galarian Moltres. Not as bulky as the other Dark Flying type, which is Mandibuzz. Crazy play. He had the lead, he kind of had the switch, but he let the switch go. and he still managed to win it. And I think the catch was kind of the reason, because that allowed to have the dugong so much energy for the end game, right? He could have also played the 2 shields without making that catch, but why do you need to?
Yeah, I mean, the hard part for Wolfpack in that was, okay, I know that this is Ancient Power is enough to knock out my Dragonite. My Dragonite has no play into the Dugong, but at the same point, that Dugong had so much energy, and not being able to clear the debuffs on the Cresselia just was too costly for Wolfpack in the end. He was really stuck between a rock and an Ancient Power in a hard place.
So tough, right? And sometimes you forget how bulky Galarian Moltres is, to be honest. It actually is bulkier than like a Sableye, so it can hang on to some damage, right? I've played some Galarian Zapdos myself, and that is not comparable. It's really, really fragile. Also doesn't do that well into the Cresselia, by the way, or Dragonite. But yeah.
I know that you've actually done some, simulations, some trainings. Tell me about, does Shadow Zapdos or Shadow Articuno really have much play, do you think, in this Show 6 Pick 3 format? Or is Shadow Moltres the one that trainers should really be focusing on?
I mean Galarian.
Galarian, I'm sorry, yes, Galarian.
So I think Galarian Articuno, not really. It has Psycho Cut as the fast attack, and it's just inferior to like Malama, which is the prime psychic type attacker right now, right? With Psywave being a very good attack, and then Future Sight also has been nerfed. I think that was more meant for Cresselia, but it was also collateral damage for Articuno, Galarian Articuno. So I don't think that Pokemon is going to be super good. On top of that, Galarian Zapdos with that fighting plus flying type is very unique, but counter also has been nerfed.
Right.
You know which Pokemon I do like as a fighting and flying type Pokemon? Halucha.
Halucha.
I used it in the local tournament. Unfortunately, I didn't face Totector Triptondo this time, but
well,
actually I did. Triptondo kind of defeated me. I don't want to admit, but
I mean, Halucha is a regional Pokemon that is not found in this EU region. But do you know what is found in this EU region?
Tell me.
A lot of really good trainers. We have this video to showcase how the trainers did in preparation for Worlds, specifically from this region. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome trainers to the 2025 Pokémon GO Championship Series, where we are broadcasting live battles from the best players around the world. In this video, we'll be taking a look at the story of the 2024 season in Europe. The 2024 season was the first time players would qualify for the World Championship.
Next is nickname versus wireless. Let's go.
Season of consistency. The season started off fresh with a new meta. Different Pokemon were now more viable and made an impact right from the start. Swallows won in Barcelona with the Pelipper, Galaxica Bolton won in Lille with Superior, and Patoman won in Gdansk with a Shadow Alolan Ninetales. Almost halfway through the season, Colin Six won the Stuttgart Regional Championship. Little did he know that his success there was only the start of it. He managed to reach the grand finals in Dortmund and then proceeded to win the final tournament in Europe, the special event in Bologna. He went to the World Championships as the #1 player on the European leaderboards. But Colin was not the only Titan from Europe to compete in Hawaii. The Europe International Championship is the largest and most anticipated tournament in Europe, and it was won by the 2022 Senior World Champion Emmy Weedle. Despite having a rough start, he put his stamp on the 2024 season with his victory. Emmy Weedle was not the only player with an impressive run at the EUIC, however. Polasha reached top 4 with her spicy signature Pokemon Shadow Magnezone. It made such an impression all over the world that the first LATAM tournament after this was won with the Shadow Magnezone. And when everyone thought the trick was now revealed, Polasha won in Stockholm with the same Pokemon. From here it was clear that Magnezone was coming to the World Championships. All of these impressive performances and storylines eventually led up to the World Championships in Honolulu, Hawaii. These household names made it to Day 2, but only few made it to the top cut. Lurgan Rocket, PvP David and Inadequence all made it to top 8, and the latter even to the grand finals. In the 2025 season, about 50 competitors from Europe can make it to the World Championships, this time taking place in Anaheim. It will be a fantastic and competitive season to look forward to, and if you're looking to compete as well, make sure to check out pokemon.com/compete to find out more and join the action.
Here we are again, trainers. I hope that video got you just as excited as we are for the
video was great.
Dortmund here. We have many top battles from Europe still coming up. I believe our next matchup are two familiar names we've seen before, Zweilos and Nicknames. So those are the two trainers coming up soon. And then we have way more trainers, right? I believe Colin is also still in turn. We saw him earlier with that Ariados. A lot of action still to come. Dog.
Yeah, he's, I think he called it the MVP of the round, and it's so good that just the actual, thought of it was enough to scare off the Talonflame off the field. Colin securing a victory earlier on, but Zwilus and Nickname are two trainers that are, I believe, on the winner side of the bracket, and they're very far in the tournament. So this means whoever will end up winning this should either be in the winners finals or already on to day number 2.
Exactly, and day 2, I think for me as a competitor, often day 2 is already a big success.
Absolutely.
Right? It means that you may be top cut. Top cut means prizes. Top 4, medal. And maybe
in top 1, accolades, the glory of winning the first EU
shirt,
regional
the in-game
championship.
shirt.
You do get an in-game shirt as well. I wouldn't know. I've not competed. I've not competed. Otherwise,
Yet.
I clearly have that in-game shirt.
Yes. Well, I did see you defeat Farid yesterday at the rehearsal, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to brag, and then I felt kind of bad for him.
And you let him win? I saw that,
let him win the second one, but yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, the matchup's coming up soon. I'm really curious to see if later on in the day we might see some different Klotzai. We've seen Sludge Bomb going all the way, right? And I also find both the Dark type and the Dragon type meta interesting. What do you think is the best Dragon so far?
So I've actually noticed that it's been on the uptick for sure, and that is Arctibax. The real question is, do you prefer it with Avalanche, which is a little bit heavier hitting, or do you prefer it with Icy Wind, which gives that guaranteed debuff on your opponent? I did notice that in the matchup that we saw earlier for Jonkus and XXL Cactus was running Icy Wind, and it was not enough to knock out the Azumarill in the end, while I do believe that Avalanche would have been. So in an endgame scenario, perhaps Avalanche turns out to be better, while Icy Wind might be better in a mid-game type matchup.
What would you run on your Arctibax?
I think I would probably go for Avalanche.
Okay.
What about you?
I have no idea. I don't have an Arctibax.
You don't even have an Arctibax built up.
Just yet. Here's the thing about Arctibax, right? It's the Dragon type Pokemon that is not weak to Ice. That is main niche. But the problem is, Ice only offers Ice resistance.
Right.
And it gives you other weaknesses or makes like fire neutral. Here we have our battlers. It's the group final of Group A. On the left, Nickname. On the right,
Zwilus.
So
Let's go.
whoever wins this matchup will be guaranteed to go into day number 2. We were talking about Ice. No Arctibax to be found on either team, but there is that Dugong from Nickname's side. We saw him playing it earlier. How do you respond to the different team compositions that are being brought? Zwilus has really
Dude, he will bring the Quagsire Nickname. भाई क्वैक्सर है आने वाला है हर गेम में क्योंकि सामने क्लॉड है, डंसवार्स है, टैलेंटफ्लेम है and Malamar and Azu है so
from Nickname in the Quagsire and the Clodsire. But I don't know.
Quagsire आएगा सब
just
गेम
like
में.
previously, and it's obvious, right? You don't want your Quagsire on Superior, so it's kind of always a risk. But do you bring Superior into a team with Toxapex, Sludge Bomb, Clodsire, and
Mandy is also good.
Kinda scary. Mandibuzz is one of the prime answers, along with Azumarill to Malamar as well. So I feel like Nickname really has some good threats to Zwilus' team. And I think on Zwilus, the one Pokemon that may be the most neutral here is that Talonflame. Even having some play into the Quagsire, if he can manage like an energy advantage on the Talonflame.
Yeah, that is the big thing with Talonflame. Talonflame really kind of relies on having a little bit of an energy advantage, being the Incinerate is the only 5-turn attack in the game. It really needs to get ramped up to be able to first throw its attacks. Sometimes it just doesn't have enough time to do so because in the meantime, there's so many fast attacks are going through from the other side, and it also gives a much easier catching potential to catch the charge attacks of the Talonflame on different Pokemon.
I think so too. I don't know what these players both want to use though. The Talonflame is what I expect from Zwilus here, but what do you use on Nickname's side? I feel like Zwilus also has everything covered so well, right? Like the Mandibuzz covers the Malamar so well, but do you bring Mandibuzz into a team with Talonflame?
Mandibuzz
kind of neutral, but I would say
can bring the Mandy
just because of solid damage. But Azumarill and Dunsparce, you don't want to have it there, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at the Toxapex on Nickname's team. I think that it looks like a pretty strong Pokemon to bring into Zwilus. Tell me your thoughts. And I see you're kind of shaking your head back and forth. You really don't like that Clodsire matchup. You don't like the Malamar as much either. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so it kind of what I really like about Toxapex, hard checks a grass plus Azumarill core.
Yep.
Which opens up a lot of play and strategy for what you lead and what you safe switch, or what you think your opponent might not lead at all. That's the way I like to see Toxapex here. Man, Clodsire Malamar. Malamar's actually is very close in the zero shields. I believe that Toxapex can win it actually. And Talonflame is actually very iffy as well because it will be able to get 2 charge stacks in the zero shield scenario. Talonflame not using any shields, it can get 2 charge stacks into Toxapex. That means it can get to a Fly and a Brave Bird, and those hit pretty hard. So, yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Here we go anyway. Nickname on the left, Swilos on the right, Quagsire into Malamar.
And both of these Pokemon end up going a little bit quickly to their charge attacks, but Malamar is going to be able to get a little bit harder damage.
He's so strong against Azu.
The fast attacks alone are already doing to that Quagsire, throwing at the same time here, going for the heavier hitting superpower, which will deep up the attack and defenses here. And it looks like no shield from Nickname's side, and the Quagsire is desperately low, swapping out into the Dunsparce. I hear you humming over here.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a deliberate throw by Nickname on the Aqua Tail or if he just wants to chip it, right? Because he doesn't really have a lot of answers to the Dunsparce here. He's bringing in the Clodsire, which takes super effective damage. Swilos thinks, oh,
he's Azu.
For my Azumarill. Little does he know, an absolute threat awaits in the back.
Yeah, what is lurking in the back? Bulky Pokemon on Nickname's side. We've seen him rely on this a couple times earlier in his matchup, where it has the bulk of both Toxapex and Clodsire to be able to comfortably take charge attacks that are even still super effective. But as you can see, Clodsire is still in the green, even though a drill run has already connected. Next one coming through, this will knock it down to the yellow, but I don't know if we can see. The Dunsparce definitely can't do an aggressive farm down. The Clodsire, on the other hand, maybe wants to shield and just get a ton of energy, and it looks like that's exactly Nickname throwing at the very last second.
I think that if Swilos has an idea that would
now he will farm down the
Clodsire
with the Malamar
into this Clodsire, even knowing he will get to attack. No, he doesn't. Can he get the full farm down here? He needs the full farm down. Oh, it doesn't get to the Sludge Ball. This might be crucial because the Quagsire from Nickname is low. He still has some energy though. But man, if the Malamar is this healthy into Toxapex, I think they might actually be play. Look at that. He knows. Swilos, I think he knows. Shooting up this Aquatil.
He knows shit.
And now he's going to be able to fast attack down, but no. Toxapex immediately swapping in, and I think if you're a Swilos, you're very content at this moment, forcing Nickname to use the shields here. And now at this point, the foul plays are not going to be able to connect, but Toxapex has a long road ahead. It needs to get through these super effective fast attacks. It needs to block up, get this Malamar out of the way so it can find its target in the back. Another foul play coming through, and I think that if you're Nickname, you're kind of forced to shield up at some point here. He doesn't, he lets this one go through.
Oh, shield there, maybe a chance for that little Azumarill in the back. Go for a next foul play. Do we shield this as Nickname? He may have lost track of energy here, but yeah, he's keeping this on the field here. Azumarill actually not looking too bad anymore for Swilos here. Going for the brine. Do you shield this? You can get a few more side waves in if you want to as Swilos, but I think that the Toxapex is really close to charge strikes. Looks like he does shield up. He needs more damage. More damage. Go. And there comes another brine. This one knock out the Malamar, but now it's no longer
Malamar OP, dude.
Amanda, look at how much this work the Malamar's put in.
Two shielded Malamar against the Toxapex has put in so much work that the Azumarill barely has time to see it. This is Azumarill's hardest counter. This is the reason people are bringing Toxapex. Unfortunately for Nickname, it was just too little, too late on that front. Ice Beam already loaded, and Ice Beam will connect. Swilos will take game number 1.
Swilos putting this match on ice. Ice Beam coming through
Let's
and
go.
taking the 1-0 score here. That looked so bad for him when there was double poison.
He brings
in the back. And you know there's double
Quag
poison.
lead.
Well, what do you do with that Azumarill? I think that the farm down from the Malamar on the Clodsire, barely not getting to the Sludge Bomb was
Well played.
super crucial in that matchup.
And in case people were wondering why Nickname swapped out, I actually think that was the correct play because the Quagsire was so low that at that range it would have just been completely fast attack down already, giving way more energy to that Malamar than it already had. So I mean, I think Nickname was really up against the wall at that last moment. Unfortunately for him, it didn't find that target in the Azumarill because let me tell you, shields down, Toxapex does not care about the Azumarill. Unfortunately, it just had too little in the tank to be able to take it away.
Toxapex is so bulky, right? But it just needs to be a little bit in a better spot there. Malamar just has been so good there in a game 1 for Swilos. You may need to bring the Mandibuzz on Nickname side, but man, if it's on Azumarill, you don't want that either. That's about as bad as Toxapex on Azumarill, honestly.
Yeah, well, at this point, however, there was was an Azumarill, there was a Toxapex. At one point, they were both in the back, but they rarely had a chance, almost like ships in the night, not even being able to see each other. This really is a turning point in the game, right? I mean, if there's 6 Pokemon, you can only bring 3 to the field. There's some strategy behind which Pokemon you want to bring. Do you think Zweilous is going to be too scared to bring the Azumarill now that he knows that Nickname is not afraid to bring the Toxapex? Or do you think Nickname's going to be completely just too shy to bring that Toxapex anymore, seeing how Malamar did so well against it?
I think that Zweilous might actually be tempted to bring the Azumarill again, knowing that Nickname may have to bring the Mandibus to check the Malamar, because Malamar went wild in that battle, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Chad, I want to hear from you. Who are you supporting? Nickname on the left or Zweilous on the right? We may also see some Malamar from Nickname himself, by the way. I don't think it looks too bad in
I think it's Zweilous.
No, I think it looks pretty neutral overall. We've talked about how it can double shield through an Azumarill and even still take that matchup, which is just wild to me. Throwing foul plays and superpower. I mean, those are attacks that the Azumarill usually fears. But it's just being able to do that side wave damage, that extra fast attack damage, puts Azumarill in a bad position. And again, Azumarill's pacing is quite slow, which is one of the disadvantages to using that Pokemon.
Here we go, game number 2. We have Toxapex into Azumarill.
Oh, baby.
No, Zweilous, this is not where you want to be. But he's getting out into Malamar. Oh!
Wait, what? He should have gone to the Mandy.
This gets interesting now, because he had the Mandibus in the back. And I think Nickname knows. Look at him. I think he knows he wants to bring in the Mandibus here.
Yeah, the problem
mistake
is
ho
that
gayi.
there's a little bit of energy advantage on Zweilous' Malamar, and also he kind of needs this mid-game matchup because he wants that Toxapex on the Azumarill. I wouldn't be surprised to see both shields from both trainers, but with an energy advantage,
He should have bring the Mandy. It was easy RPS, dude. Hi, RPS ho jata pura.
But so is Nickname. Will he want to expend his shield here? I think we're going to see it. Yes, first shield coming through, and now it is a race.
Think so Nickname loses now.
Zweilous just flips this, right? He's up in energy in the mirror here, and both attacks deal similar damage. Going for the superpower now. I think Nickname kind of needs to catch up in energy here, and this might be his way to. But 2 attacks won't. Oh, they will knock out, but let's see what's... Oh, catching on the Mandibus! And I think Zweilous now a little bit surprised. Why did you not bring this in here before? Now he can align his Azumarill here, and this is so rough. Oh, I like this play, building up energy because the snarl damage doesn't add up as much. Now you can bring in Azumarill, and the catch on the aerial ace. Zweilous saying, I can do what you can do.
Zen, to be fair, the aerial ace is what you want to be throwing at the Azumarill anyway, but as you can see, Azumarill just does not care. It's not very effective, and since both of these are 3-turn attacks, it's going to be a little bit of a similar pacing overall. Going for yet another aerial ace, but as we saw how little that first one did, Mandibus against Azumarill is just in such a hard spot. These 50-second timers are going to prove a little bit different, because if you look, even though this will connect, the timer on Nickname's side is up at this point. Will he want to swap into that Malamar to try to change things? Or is he going straight for the Toxapex because he knows his switch timers are at least a little bit misaligned here?
I like this play from Nickname. You gotta get out. You have to do something. Dunsparce are actually not the worst matchup for that Toxapex, because rollout is neutral. Drill Run is super effective, however. I believe that Dunsparce does win every even shield scenario, and this might actually, the Ice Beam actually may put Toxapex into 2 drill range with the rollouts.
A Sludge Bomb gonna go through, Zweilous not bothering to shield up the Dunsparce here. It brings it down to about half health, but is already at the Drill Run. It is super effective, but we have talked about how bulky Toxapex is.
This will be close.
It's definitely not gonna be threatening a knockout. And at this point,
catch भी आएगा like.
Okay, where is my shield
जो
going
catch
to be
करेगा वो
most
जीतेगा.
effectively? And I think Nickname is thinking it might be on that Malamar. Already at another Drill Run. Does he want to let the Toxapex go?
He outpaced the Toxapex, just barely forcing Nickname to put up a protect shield here. What do you do here as Nickname, and where do you put up the shield as Zweilous? You need to gather as much energy as possible. Brine is a very weak attack, but it might almost knock out the Dunsparce at this point. Zweilous putting up the protect shield though. There's a catch available, going into the Malamar, and he has the foul play to take out the Dunsparce. Is this a waste of the shield now?
The shield is gone, and now it looks like the
Wait a
Dunsparce
minute.
is also gone off the field, but there is no energy left on the Malamar. Malamar is coming against now
He
the
can catch.
Azumarill. It's not a great matchup. The only good matchup that the nickname has against it is really that Toxapex, which is so low. Wants to give a little bit of chip damage and hoping those side waves are continuing to add up. And this, again, we're talking about the pacing here. This Malamar is coming in at so much energy and is going to be able to throw right before him. Silas is counting, and you know he is.
Oh no, not superpower. This costs less energy, and now you have another attack for the next Pokemon coming in. I think Nickname is very close to that Brian going into the Mandibuzz, and taking another superpower now. Nickname has energy
It's over.
all over the place.
Ezu has a move.
I don't know who is going to win this. This Azumarill doesn't have much energy. I don't think it has any energy at all because it threw.
No, Ezu has energy.
This is going to be so close. Nickname just needs a couple more to be able to get to it. He has to throw the Brine, but this might not be enough against the Azumarill because Azumarill's water typing.
Yeah, this does do a lot of damage. He farmed up energy against the Mandibuzz earlier. Now going for the play rough, and for the second time in the set,
If we swap into Mandy, it was
takes
easy.
down the Toxapex.
Wow, Azumarill Toxapex counter confirmed? Question mark? Oh, poor Nickname at this point, playing very well. Unfortunately for him,
Yeah,
not
well
being able
played
to get to that
by the
slug wave at
Xylus.
the end really ended up proving costly, but great.
Ezu में energy
awareness
बचा
by
के
him.
रखा.
Remembering where that Azumarill was at in energy and throwing the Brine Rider, that he knew that was his only potential play to be able to possibly win that last matchup.
It was a little bit of an unfortunate matchup there for Nickname because he meant to swap in the Mandibuzz into the Malamar. That's, I think, why he brought it as well. But then the way he danced around with his energy, storing energy on 3 Pokemon, that's as many Pokemon as you can bring into battle. And he almost actually got away with it. He almost got away with it. He swapped his Malamar into the opposing Malamar, and that basically meant that Swilos, it was easy for him to flip switch advantage. Right?
Yeah, he had an energy advantage already, and he knew that he wanted that Azumarill nowhere near the Toxapex. Not only that, I mean, Nickname wanted his Mandibuzz nowhere near the Azumarill. The perfect opportunity to bring it in would have been against that Malamar to either take superpowers, which is then going to lower the attack and defense of the opposing Malamar, or take foul plays, which Mandibuzz doesn't care at all to be taking. So, unfortunate for Nickname, a small misclick on his part, but honestly,
the way he almost came back, though, the way he almost came back was crazy. But Swilos also making meticulous play, right? I believe he was about top 16 at the last World Championship, so that shows that Swilos is just such a good player. Building up in the very end game, we may see it soon in the replay, that he went to 2 superpower there, knowing that he could just barely get there and have an attack loaded for the next Pokemon of Nickname coming in, because he had energy all over the place.
Alright guys,
and not only that,
here is a link you can watch on Twitch now.
Didn't get enough farm for the Toxapex to be able to get up to a sludge wave was really.
There's
really
a link
great
on the
play.
live chat.
Game number 2 here, looking at this.
So
Game
I'm ending
number
the
1
stream.
basically the same
I have
way
to
as
go.
Game number 2. Azumarill
So
just
enjoy the
taking out the Toxapex.
Dortmund
Unfortunate
Regional
for
Championship,
Nickname.
or Dortmund, sorry.
Almost up with this.
Bye guys, see you all at night for the GBL stream.
That's how much
Peace out
these two
and have a
trainers
good day.
were switching between each other between these battles. Congratulations to Swilos.